10 ACC Challenge presented by Dish Network. Number 2 North Carolina taking on the unranked Buckeyes. And it's actually 6-2 with Michigan State just picking up a win. But the ACC still has clinched the challenge for the 9th consecutive year. So conference pride.
This problem. There's that zone, very active, trying to match him with the wings. Got to get ball movement. Can't go side to side. You got to attack gaps and seams and overload.
And you can see it's really making the Tar Heels think right now. Hansbrough's gone to the bench right away as Ellington knocks down the jumper. A guy who comes into Columbus with an extraordinary reputation as a high school scorer. 41 points per game last year. Led the nation, but just 4 for 36 shooting the ball early this year as the 15-footer goes down for Deon Thompson. Lawson rolled his right ankle Saturday night, 2 minutes into the game against BYU. He did practice today, but didn't do everything, didn't do it at full speed. And Roy Williams said that Lawson just not able to go.
Buckeyes had so much success last year. Conley at the point. Butler moved over to the 2 slot. Now Butler's going back to the point. He's a combo going.
Quentin Thompson at the point right now for Carolina. Hansbrough gets free. Nice ball movement against the zone that time.
Did a terrific job overloading against the zone and sliding Hansbrough right down the gutter. Playing with a lot of emotion here. They're feeding off this crowd.
Were ranked until they got blown out by A&M in New York. What a block by Stepheson.
Stepheson blocked shots. Thompson's more of a scorer. Both guys bring a different.
Hansbrough from 17.
Wide open. Hansbrough improved his perimeter shot.
Going to be a physical night for Coach Kufa, if he spends any time around Tyler Hansbrough.
See, patience against that zone is very important.
Green has improved his long-range jumper.
Same with UCLA with Collison.
Yep.
He may be coming back against George Washington. Poor Carl Harms.
they're playing tonight, and Aboya says he's going to play with a mask on. Ginyard penetrates and gets the bounce.
I love the G&G guys. They go back to back.
Hunter with an acrobatic attempt at a follow.
Frasor's got to make some of those threes because it would stretch the defense and let Hansbrough get some good looks inside.
Ellington wide open.
That's big. I tell you, ultimately they can break the zone by shooting over the top of it. You'd like to get into a gap and seam and get layups, but if you got a guy like Ellington, you let him stroke it.
How about the big 3 he hit late to clinch the victory against BYU in Las Vegas?
He did the same thing against Davidson.
Yep.
Duke's got a battle with Davidson coming up. Nice pass entry.
Frasor to Thompson.
That was part of their transition game, Dan. They got the ball up the court quickly. They were doing a great job, and they were overloading on a baseline.
That's a 3 from Ellington quiets the crowd.
The Duke, string music again. The Duke, Ellington, baby. He's a terrific AD. He went to Notre Dame, played football at Notre Dame.
Lighty penetrates, little hesitation, and Stepheson, a good shot blocker, get a finger on that.
Good job, defensive transition, getting back, making a play 5-on-5. Bring it to the baseline and into Hansbrough.
No Kufis in the game right now. They're smaller. Terwilliger is in the middle. Kufis getting set to check back in. Ellington, who's penetrating, putting the ball on the floor more this year, floats one in from 10 feet.
Yeah, good mid-range jumper. He's got the great rotation. Little rainbow.
Into double figures goes Ellington. Diebler, no. Terwilliger blocked. Stepheson again.
See, right now, with Cooper's out of the game, I go to Hansbrough inside. Bring it to Hansbrough. Oh.
Stepheson. Hansbrough! Well, if they don't pass it to him, he can go get it himself.
Well, playing without the 7-footer now. Cooper's on the sideline. Hansbrough now has people his size on the inside. They get all of Mr. Basketballs now. Thad Munn is locking up the state. B.J. Mullins next year. From out of here in the suburbs of Columbus, a 7-foot 260.
Hansbrough with one of his rare clean looks here tonight.
One of my favorite places, Rupp. They really have a passion and love for basketball. It's going to take a little time to play without Jasper, without Meeks.
Got to get the shot off here. And it goes! It goes off the glass!
Are you serious? He couldn't make a shot in the first 5 games. Oh, they're rocking and rolling in Buckeye land. You can't be serious.
Carolina basketball. Rebound Deon Thompson, a guy that Roy Williams wants to see a lot more rebounding from.
You know, Bobby Frasor can make some shots. He's going to start looking for an open shot as well.
Ginyard off the glass.
Ginyard just a tenacious performer, a defensive dynamo.
Ellington looks like he's struggling just a bit as he gets back down on defense. Kufa's such a quiet game, and now Frasor comes up with a steal.
Great move right there.
Hansbrough in one.
What a terrific move. Protected the basketball, got the conversion inside, scored in transition off the steal. You can see the confidence level. He knows it's his team. This is my team. Michael Conley's not there.
Danny Green with a turnaround. That's one of the guys they're looking for to get open for that shot in the middle of the zone.
A lot of finesse.
Comes in averaging better than 18 a game. Had a huge night against Syracuse last week, but a very quiet one against A&M and a quiet one so far tonight. Hansbrough off to Ginyard.
Nice diagonal pass by Hansbrough. Let it through the zone.
And now they're trying to play a little bit quicker, maybe not as fast as they played in that game last year, as they turn it over again. Ginyard, it's a block and a bucket.
That's Carolina. See the way they ran out on the break. Transition. Up and away. Run, baby, run. Dean Smith would love. He'd say, yes, that's my protege right there. Look at the way they ran the ball up the court. Get the good angle, take it up. There's the block. Very sad to see a young athlete taken down so young. 24 years of age, with a world of talent.
Frasor from the corner. Rebound, Ohio State, and they gave it away. Two Buckeyes were there, and they just left the ball.
Thompson came up with the loose ball in the jam. They got a good look for Frasor. He needs one for confidence. He has to have one go down. Played last year with that foot injury. It was tough.
No Kufis, no Hansbrough. And no finish there on the driving layup for Evan Turner.
That was a quick move by the 6'6" Turner from out of Chicago.
Ellington banks it in.
Are you serious? Great shooters. It always goes their way. He's even got a smile on his face.
He should have a smile.
He's got a smile. There's no way, baby. I mean, is the bank open, as Timmy B used to say? Is the bank open? Look at Lawson. Lawson says, I love it. I'll tell you what, they got to get Lawson healthy. There's Ellington. I got a feeling poor Billy Gillespie's going to see Lawson there Saturday.
Carolina by 7. Carolina, Dick's got its largest lead of the night right now. Green is open. Thompson getting on the glass tonight, and it's paying dividends.
Big time offensive rebound. See, there's the patience against the zone. Slide somebody down the gut. Slide somebody into the foul line area. Right at the foul line area. There it is.
Thompson with a jump hook. He's had a big night.
Great execution.
Ohio State has missed 17 shots in a row, shooting under 25%, getting out-rebounded by 13, and amazingly, they're only down 10.
Well, that's been a pattern when you think about it in terms of their losses. When they lost to, as I said, that game, A&M.
Yep. Thomas on the drive. Ellington the pull-up. He's got beautiful form.
Can't allow him to shoot that. Missing those guys, Andy, is big on the perimeter. Because really, they got some solid players in Patterson and Legion, Bradley and Crawford, but they need those other two guys.
Hansbrough, good position inside, and he'll finish.
You know, Roy Williams thought things were going really well there. And all of a sudden, he's got a battle.
How about Danny Green with a beautiful feed to Deon Thompson?
Lost to the Gators for the big prize.
They've stepped up the intensity at the defensive end. The Buckeyes need every stop they can get. The shot clock is at 5.
Buckeye fans don't want to hear about the Gators beat them at football. Oh, what a backbreaker that is.
Ellington, just like in Vegas against BYU, comes up with a huge late 3.
Did it against Davidson as well. Made big threes in every game where they've been really in tight matchups. That's what you like to see in a guy. Not afraid to take the big shot and convert the big shot.
Bobby Frasor with a big block on Jamar Butler. Butler for 3. And it's all but over now. North Carolina withstands a late second half rally by the Buckeyes and will go to 6-0.
And today from Rupp Arena, number 2 ranked North Carolina. They are 6-0, facing 4-1 Kentucky in a matchup of legendary schools. Here at Rupp Arena, as we give you a look at the starting lineups now. The starting 5 for the Tar Heels. Thompson and Hansbrough, they go in the front court. And the story all week has been Ty Lawson and whether he'd be healthy enough to go. And there he is, Dick.
Lawson. That means they're getting ready to go to Churchill Downs.
Ellington way outside. He can certainly hit that shot, and he drains the triple.
He's a big-time shooter, Dave. He's one of the premier three-point shooters in basketball. Look at the steal. Steal by Lawson.
Lawson makes the quick impact on the other end. And Carolina off to the quick start, 5-0 in the opening minutes.
Well, Kentucky hasn't been tested by a team of this quality yet this year. Lost to Gardner Webb at home, and that certainly had the Bluebirds going bananas.
Patterson tips it, but right to Hansbrough as he battles for it. And Lawson trying to push the tempo now for the Tar Heels, floats it up.
That's where they become a different club. They get easy baskets with Lawson. You don't have to always set and battle 5-on-5. The reason it's dangerous, as I told you on the top of the show, they have a tough time scoring points, Kentucky.
Stewart fighting for the rebound, but it came right out of his hands.
Stewart, a good athlete, very active. Hansbrough wide open.
Little fadeaway, flips it up and in.
Defense rotated over, got to him.
Crawford with a sweet 3, averaging 18, and if he hits his average today, he'll become the 54th player in Kentucky history to reach 1,000 points. Green returns it on his end with a triple.
Terrific play by Patterson inside, late getting the entry. I really believe one of the lost arts in college basketball is feeding the post. Timing is so essential.
Green again, and nothing but nets for Danny Green.
Crawford very strong, very physical player. Nice pass.
There's Green again, and he's become the offense, and a timeout. And angry Billy Gillespie, not happy at all that Green has been green lighting everything. 35-27 Carolina.
He's a kid that gives everything he has. He's a walk-on player, trying to help the club. Billy Gillespie likes all the intangibles that he brings.
Rupp has really come to life in this run by the Cats. Here's Ellington around and out.
He's been quiet.
Green flips it up. He's been the guy for the Tar Heels here for the last 10 minutes.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm so impressed with the play of Patterson. Very physical, very strong. Knows how to post inside. They tell me he's a great practice player as well.
And one thing to watch, Kentucky's Perry Stepheson picked up his 4th foul with 8 minutes to go in the first half. As Kentucky gives up the quick basket underneath on Deon Thompson. Well, that's no surprise. Watching him in practice here, he's got 3-4 guys running the stairs about every minute. Ellington will launch and hits. That's a 3.
Too wide open. Can't give him those open shots. You can either drive, shoot the jumper from the 3, or dish the rock to the right or left.
He has 9. Thompson on the high post. He'll fire it up, and nothing but net for him. So he got a good look on the high glass, but couldn't get it to go.
Well, one of the reasons they're 3 and 4, they're playing quality competition, and everybody's reminded that they beat Kentucky. Wide open. They're getting too many open looks.
Yeah,
that's the offensive machine that North Carolina is.
Hansbrough on Patterson, lunging after him, trying to steal it. And an errant pass. Lawson tiptoeing that line beautifully, and he will finish it.
I told you, it's a danger time right now for Kentucky. I told you, Mr. O'Brien, a danger time, Dan. David, it's a dangerous time.
North Carolina opening up a 50-39 lead.
I mean, there's the wide open look. I mean, I can make that shot. You don't have to be an All-American, a PTP to make that. Now watch the steal right here. He picks up his dribble. Lawson shows, my ankle is fine. Oh, they're going to love this team in Chapel Hill.
The shot clock did not reset. It malfunctioned. That was the reason for the official timeout.
I'll tell you, Larkins can play, and so can Candace Parker. A wide open 3 for Bobby Frasor. That helps his game. He's been having a little bit of trouble making shots from the perimeter. He does that. That really elevates their offense in their half-court game. It makes them get better spacing.
And Carolina elevating themselves to a 15-point lead against the Wildcats. Traditionally, this series very, very close. There's Patterson, all sorts of jerseys around him wearing Carolina colors. Crawford on the drive, tipped out. And here come the Tar Heels again. It's Frasor. He's got Thompson alongside, but fires it up and hits the 3.
Nothing like a little confidence. He makes one, he comes back, shoots another.
Kentucky with a little bit of life now all of a sudden, trailing by 14. Harris pulls up his dribble and gave it away as Frasor picks him on the bounce.
Nice pass, great look. Bobby Frasor, good basketball savvy, drops the dime for the little layup, so you can't turn it over. You're down 14, 78, 96, and 98.
Off
nice
the alley-oop,
great
and
execution.
Green again was showing some pretty good hops today.
Marvin would only be a senior on this team, and Brandon Wright a sophomore. You would believe it if they had stayed in school.
Hansbrough stripping Patterson, who fell on his back. He's patched by Ellington to stay inbounds. He'll fire it up and drain it.
He just, I'll tell you what, when he shoots it, you feel it's got a chance to go in. You can't say that about everyone.
Crawford in traffic, flipped it up and can't get it to go.
Too difficult to score. They really have a tough time finding offense.
Ellington, his 18-footer.
He doesn't have a tough time. I can't remember an easy layup for Kentucky in transition.
Yep, great point.
Everything is, they got to work so hard to score.
They turn it over again. Green on the dribble drive. Thompson. Open Frasor. Got it. That one really hurts.
You know, he really has found his shot. That's a big-time backbreaker, as you said, Dave. He gave us $50,000 for the V Foundation President's Club, as many coaches. And I know Roy Williams is very active in many charities as well. People don't realize all the work.
And now the final seconds with Frasor to hold on to the ball, and that's the buzzer. Your final score, North Carolina 86, Kentucky 77. Dick, it's been a treat. Thanks so much.
It's been a treat, I'll tell you this.
Little John Coliseum in Clemson, South Carolina, filled to capacity. The highly anticipated opener of the Atlantic Coast Conference season. Tim Brando, Mike Janinski running the curl and driving right to the basket, as we mentioned. 4-0 Clemson. Don't blink. Ellington right back at you. A great example of how quickly off a made basket North Carolina can motor.
And look at that, the double team trying to get out of Lawson's hands.
Ellington, a little too strong. He's always strong. Hansbrough with the putback.
Best offensive rebounder in the league at 4.5 per.
Hammonds. A little return to sender from the Tigers. Lawson. Yes, and a foul.
I'll be stunned if we have a shot clock violation in this game, Tim.
He should get some playing time to spell Lawson with Frasor out. But Alex Stepheson is still missing in action. His father's very ill out in California as Ginyard gets the easy deuce. That was a tough shot by Stitt.
I think you need to put pressure off him on the dribble, Tim, to test that injury, see how that ankle is. You bail him out by taking the jump shot.
Hansbrough on the blocks. Oh, what a nice jump hook on the block.
Love it when that ATM pops up.
Rivers will take it any way he can get it. He has 8 points. Thompson, nice feathery touch.
You have to understand Hammonds is a lefty, and you want to try to limit his ability to get to that side of the floor. A little lapse by Ellington.
Tigers lead by 4. Lawson now playing with 2 fouls. And he goes baseline drive. Hammonds now trying to fight through a pick by Hansbrough. Thompson. Tap out by Hansbrough to Lawson. Nice presence of mind by Tyler Hansbrough.
That's a good play. If you can't get it, tap it to one of your teammates.
Off the curl. Potter leaves it. Ugly looking shot that time by Mays. And you know what Carolina does with ugly shots? They take it back in a hurry. Ellington answers. Clemson sub 50% so far in this game at the charity stripe. Thompson takes Mays in a man-to-man situation with no help and delivers it. Timeout, Oliver Purnell.
Good zone defense now by the Tigers.
Nice pass. Oh, Green inside to Copeland, who just got into the game. Mike Copeland, the junior from Winston-Salem. Oglesby. Try again. Third time's a charm from downtown.
I guarantee he's not going to stop shooting.
Ellington answers.
A great kick out pass that time. Ellington had a terrific look.
There's Oglesby again. They left him. Lawson, smallest man on the floor, collects the rebound. Green on the offensive glass. Boy, what a tough play by Danny Green.
That puts pressure on Hansbrough to defend. That was great penetration and dish.
Booker with 6. Ellington for 3. Ginyard the offensive rebound. Oh, nice look. As he finds cutting to the basket, backdoor Ellington. Hansbrough retrieves it for North Carolina. Lawson a blow by. So quick, Ty Lawson. He has 10.
Just to look at it, all out front by Hammonds to try to keep the ball out of Lawson's hands.
Thompson. 48-46.
Right now, Clemson's perimeter players off the dribble, able to get to the rim when they want.
Ellington, a fadeaway J from downtown.
Turn it over.
Hammonds now operating more at the point with Stitt out with 3. And you miss the three-pointer, and it turns into a layup on the other end. Pretty good lift on that dunk, but he does favor it as he goes back defensively.
Yeah, he's probably got a retape on the sidelines, but still loose enough to get up.
Ellington, speaking of getting up, and in from downtown. I mean, the sky's the limit. The blue heavens may be the limit.
You think about the fact, I mean, he's 120 and 30. He wins 80% of his games.
It's amazing. Danny Green with a soft touch. 61-56, Clemson by 5. See what I have to put up with every week, folks? Nice look by Thompson, feeding Ginyard, driving to the basket. Mays wanted the charge, but it was a flop. Good no call by Ray Natilli. Shooting in a bit of hard luck tonight, and then there's the easy one on the other end. He has 24, and the lead is back to 5. K.C. Rivers, junior from the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina. Hansbrough. Ginyard lost it on the deck. Thompson saves it to Lawson. Ellington. He cans it, and Roy Williams gets a timeout. 2:45 remaining. Overs for the Tigers, and the woes, as Jen Hilbert mentioned, at the free throw line continue for the Tigers. Green for 3. He rattles it home, and another timeout, North Carolina.
Body language turning a little bit in this game. Rivers shaking his head, walking over to the bench. Clemson now looking a little shaky. North Carolina looking like the #1 team in the country.
As you've said, Clemson had them right where they wanted them. Well, now it's return to sender. As Danny Green nails the triple, he and Ellington together making key shots, and then those misses at the free throw line that we touched on. Clemson does have a full timeout and a 30 remaining. 13.7. North Carolina also has 1 timeout. Clemson shoots for the win right here. Rivers the dump down to Booker. Can you book it? Not this time. The putback is no good. Mays no good. Overtime in Clemson.
There's the play inside. Booker with the solid post-up, but was forced to take a fadeaway jump shot, and then the point blank. Mays had it right there. Tried to rush it up. I'm having deja vu, Timmy. #1 team. Overtime again.
Grew up with North Carolina blue all through his home. But now it's all orange, and he tries to put some more leather through the hoop here.
If he misses, Tim, the guy they want to, you get the rebound. If you're going to foul a guy, foul Thompson. That's solid right there.
Tyler Hansbrough probably given more trouble underneath in the painted area tonight than at any time I've ever seen, Mike, and yet made enough key plays to take this game to an extra session. And in the end, we'll pick up the paper tomorrow and say, well, another double-double.
Yeah, you know, instead of now you've got Sykes in there, so you've got an extra defender inside along with Mays in case of penetration.
Will there be time for a putback? A lot of times the offensive rebound can be the real key. Lawson over to Ellington for three. Got it! How much time remains? Will there be more than .4? Boy, Lawson under duress found the open man, and it couldn't have been a better man than the man that's having a career high night.
Again, the gamble going out, and it looked like Ellington, of all people, how can a guy with 30-plus points get lost like that? A great look for him, and has he been any good today? Whew.
Potter lost him, and as you mentioned, gambled, went for the steal. 36 points for Wayne Ellington, 11 of 19 field goals, 5 of 8 from downtown for a young team that's trying to mature.
But that's it. You know, whether it's a minute or 30 seconds or 10 seconds, you have to finish off the game, and Ellington made the winning play.
North Carolina moves to 15-0. Comes from behind to win here at Clemson. Just a magnificent performance in a game that G-Man really lived up to the advanced billing.
No question. You know, Clemson, they started out strong. They had a lot of confidence in this game. They quickly realized that they could play with North Carolina. And it was just a great game. There were a couple of times I thought, Timmy, where Clemson could have gone away in this game. Yeah. They showed a lot of heart coming back in, but at the end of the day, great players make great plays, and Ellington, a career game for him, and he caps it off with the game winner. A career high 36 points for him, solid 11 of 19. Everything looked effortless for him. He's got such a beautiful stroke, 5 of 8. I think he's off of that, slump.
He's off the schneid?
Yes, I think so.
North Carolina perched atop the ACC along with Wake Forest and Boston College, Florida State, all the teams that have gotten early entries into the win column. But more importantly, 15-0 and still #1 in America. Remember, join us.
ESPN's college basketball is presented by Alltel Wireless from the Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. It is back to ACC basketball. NC State against #1 North Carolina. They have shot the ball brutally badly this year, especially from the outside. They're going to have to make some of those, or North Carolina can just pack in its defense. Ellington with a runner. Boy, he took it. He made a great move to get inside. Lawson trying to return the favor at the other end, and they go inside to Deon Thompson. Thomas into the lane, dumps it off. Hansbrough, got it.
And he's solid, too. He's fundamentally sound inside, hustles on the defensive end, and he's big enough to give Tyler Hansbrough all he wants.
Great backdoor pass by Thomas. That was a beauty. Here's the full court pressure off the inbounds. Corner goes to McCauley. Lawson is not in there right now for North Carolina. They have been looking at his ankle on the bench. McCauley goes into 3 defenders and lost the ball. Green is in for the first time. Thompson, the sophomore out of Torrance, California.
Not sure what defense State was in, and neither were they. Wide open coming down the lane was the trailer.
13-9. The crowd really into it now. McCauley wanting the ball down low. This is Grant guarded by Green. Grant down the lane, and Stepheson was there to stuff it, and then he stepped on the end line. Good defense by the sophomore. Grant trying to back in on Green. State doing a really good job of isolating guys, but North Carolina is doing a better job of defending them. Ginyard on the run. Basket in the foul. Beautiful fast break.
Well, on the offensive end, NC State has to recognize that Carolina's weak side is just packing in that paint.
Little too strong, and here comes Green. If Carolina can run, this game is over.
Just as in the first 5 minutes of this game, the pace favored State. Carolina has turned the switch, baby.
State with a rare break, and Ellington got a hand in and knocked it away. Back at the other end, Hansbrough. Hey, you'd hesitate to think what it would be without some good luck. 25-11 right now. Lawson, little scoop. Lawson kept it alive. Hansbrough to Green.
Well, right now, State's not even guarding underneath. They're so concerned about surrounding.
North Carolina State has made a slick one of its last 16 shots. Costner against the double team.
And
you know, we talked earlier about man-to-man and zone. There are a lot of zone principles in man-to-man, and North Carolina is exhibiting them beautifully today, going with those double teams. They're just waiting for a guy to back in and be vulnerable, and then they attack him defensively. Green got the roll.
Usually always on the floor.
Smart player who was in control. Thompson blocked it in Fell's face. Hard to imagine a team playing any better than this right now. Great pass from Green to Thompson. We may be setting records in this one. Thomas. Well, when Thomas is going to score, it's over, isn't it?
Pittsburgh, the loss of Mike Cook and Levance Fields for an extended period of time. That was the team that was ready to roll and ready to try to assume dominance in the Big East. Look at Gonzalez having all sorts of trouble with Lawson.
Lawson all over him. Gonzalez bounces it off him, so it's not a backcourt violation. But they're at 15 seconds on the shot clock, and they're back beyond midcourt again. Look at this defense. The heels are like sharks that smell blood, and lots of it. Gonzalez kicks it out to Fells for three. Barely nicked the rim on the way by. Look at this. Ginyard with a great touch pass. 41-11. Points in a row. Fells. Thank God. And even the Carolina fans, look at this. They're on their feet applauding. Boy, that's gotta hurt.
They want a game. They want a blowout.
Well, it was a 2, not a 3.
But they don't want an absolute slaughter now.
Well, they've got one. But yeah, there's one.
If I'm Sidney Lowe at halftime, the only thing you do is take that stat sheet, ball it up, throw it away, and say, okay, guys, let's go out and scrimmage. Because they probably have better luck playing as though they were playing a pickup game than what they did in the first half.
Lawson dared to shoot, so he does and knocks it down. First half missed 18 shots in a row. It is now 48-15.
Too many games where he seems confused as to what his role on this team is, where he should be playing. He's got to be a basketball player.
Lawson with the steal. Fells in a futile chase. Isn't one of his other problems that Hickson, McCauley can't hit, and the rebound goes to Stepheson. Lawson now with 10 points in the ball game. Corner just made his third three-point shot of the entire year. Hansbrough answers. Hansbrough with 11. The largest margin of victory in the series, 62-10. In the first half, North Carolina State missed 18 straight shots. Yikes.
And again, it's all about developing a toughness and developing the ability to fight adversity. And when you play such a soft schedule leading up to a game like this, you know, you're not developing anything unless it's a false sense of security.
All right, let me play devil's advocate here. They had good wins against Villanova and Davidson. Those are good ball clubs.
Yeah, early. But again, losses in New Orleans. East Carolina, I wouldn't say that's exactly a bad loss, but East Carolina probably shouldn't be beating NC State. So look at the nice baseline drive by Ginyard. You certainly want to send that message, but you also want to realize you don't want to leave guys in the game too long in a situation like this. And Mike, maybe because the outcome is almost a foregone conclusion, State seems so much more relaxed here in the second half. Shooting the ball well, handling it well.
Well, it's not all that hard to shoot when you're down by 30, is it? Offensively. Now I'm talking about fast breaks. Hansbrough tried to go with the left hand, had it blocked. Green comes out with it. Nice pass.
And did you like the way that Ellington knew exactly where he was? He took a giant step backwards to get behind that three-point line.
Ellington is almost 44% from long range, and he looks better than that. It is 69-39. As a college player, was there ever a more complete player?
And that was my 5, and I'm sticking to it.
Nice shot by Deon Thompson. Green, 9 points, 11 boards, 6 assists, and 4 blocked shots. Well, he just got a double-double. With hard-to-find colors in sport jackets, which begs the question, they were hard to find for a reason. I mean, if you want a lime green sport coat, you ought to have to look for a long time to locate one, shouldn't you?
And warn folks when you're ready to wear it.
Missed by Hickson.
Hickson's almost surprised when he gets in the paint that he's meeting with another white shirt.
Thomas with a runner.
You can hear it. Sidney Lowe coaching still. They're playing 2-3 zone right now. Something that they didn't do a whole lot of early in the season.
Thomas, great penetration. Got the bounce pass to Deon Thompson. 4 assists for Thomas.
In and out. But I think it's about time now to get your key guys out of the game. I mean, you just don't want to run the risk of anything happening.
He is just a tremendous performer. Ellington slashing in. With that miss, long rebound to Green. 13 boards for Green. Thompson with a miss, but the tip is good.
It was as good on Carolina's part, and it's bad not only on State's part, but on the part of any Division I team.
Tanner comes off the bench, fire. Hello, J.B. Tanner out of Hendersonville, North Carolina.
And taken away. Movement with the white coats.
Another turnover, Little, the football player with a miss, but there's the foul. Dad Larry, an assistant coach. And that's it. The drama was removed from this game early. Tied at 9, and then North Carolina just blew them away. They win their 17th straight game to start the season. They remain number 1 in the country, 93-62 from Chapel Hill. Don't forget our postgame extra.
Welcome inside the Dean Smith Center. It's Thursday Night Showcase presented by T. Rowe Price. Our matchup, the 4th-ranked Tar Heels of North Carolina against the Eagles of Boston College. And it is all part of Student Spirit Week presented by EAS. The Tar Heels trying to keep pace with Duke. The Blue Devils play a little bit later on, about 11 miles down the road. But right now it's Duke on top, Carolina at 4-1, Boston College at 3-2. Carolina will get a second chance. Around a pick, Ellington pull up 15-footer, got it. Ellington again around a pick, now the pick and roll, got it back off the glass, Deon Thompson.
Nice looking play right there. Tyrese Rice has not even touched the ball yet.
Well, it's a flex offense with constant down screens and shuffle cuts across the baseline for Boston College. Here comes the speed.
Lawson, Ginyard reverse layup, 6-0 Tar Heels.
Boston College on the two films I watched today. They are not always good running from offense to defense.
Tyrese Rice, a preseason first team All ACC, as is the guy that's guarding him. And Tyler Hansbrough forces another Boston College turnover. All the way to the rack goes Ginyard, and he scores and one. Not the start Al Skinner was looking for on the road.
No, and it all starts with Ty Hansbrough just being a bigger man than the guy he's guarding, Tyrell Blair. So he rips it right from underneath the chin, and then from there it's just whichever North Carolina Tar Heel gets their hands on it can go to the other end. That's what I love about North Carolina.
John Oates only his 11th three-pointer of the year. Couldn't have come at a better time. Got to get back. Ellington already on the drive. Thompson the one-hander. Thompson's got 4.
Way too easy. Every North Carolina basket, the first 3.5 minutes, they've been almost gimme level.
Double team on Sanders. They know he's a freshman, and they steal it from him. And it's Lawson going the other way. And scores. And one.
Brad, North Carolina not allowing Boston College to run their tight flex offense that Al Skinner has won a lot of ball games with in ACC. Look at him double up on the side, taking you out of your strength, forcing you to do something else. And again, you're looking at the best in the country. Brett Rice is one of the best in college basketball at making tough shots, making difficult off-balance shots. He'll take 3 or 4 a game that you think, why did he take it? And he'll end up making half of them.
7-0 run for the Eagles. They cut the lead down to 3. Hansbrough trying to spin on Oates, up and under. Nice move.
Yeah, as soon as Blair went to the bench, you knew that North Carolina was going to go to Ty Hansbrough.
He hit a three-pointer that sent the Virginia Tech game to overtime, though they lost it 81-73 in their last outing. Ellington, pull-up jumper on the baseline. Good shooter. And when he gets warm, look out.
Kansas is still in my top Power 5, and North Carolina, don't count those guys out. But think about this. Florida lost 4 games in a row in their chase to a national title. So don't put too much stock in Kansas losing last night.
Stepheson inside, scores. A 14-4 lead has evaporated to a 21-all tie. Speaking of Ty, Ty Lawson picked up his dribble, and Ty Rice is all over him. Now they get it inside, and Hansbrough throws it down. Pull up 3. Might have been partially deflected, but back comes North Carolina. That would have given the Eagles the lead. Now the lob. Stepheson off the glass.
Brad, you have to run with a white jersey if you're Boston College. You can't run in space. You have to locate a white jersey and get your body on them while you run. If not, those kind of plays are going to continue.
Oates for the lead. Got it off the glass. Not sure he called that one, but BC will take it.
Boy,
first lead of the ball game for the Eagles.
Honey bunches of oats, wasn't it?
You got that right. Thompson will try to answer, and he hit the back of the iron, and it just died and rolled in. Those are 2 of the weirdest shots back-to-back that I think we've seen all season.
But you're seeing signs, once again, of North Carolina playing the game with a we can outscore you mentality. That's what Roy Williams is trying to harp on every day in practice. There's the flex offense. There's the shuffle cut and the down screen. If they can turn you over 2 or 3 times,
they did.
They don't. Well, find a white jersey.
And a slam on the baseline by Deon Thompson, who's got 8. They've led by as many as 10. Boston College actually came back and took a 26-25 lead at one point. Thompson already with 8 points. Make it 10. Already over his average. And he has been the difference so far. Boston College missed a golden opportunity there. Lawson inside Thompson. And going to the free throw line to try to make it a 3-point play. Fouled by Oates, his second.
lesson. So whatever lesson they were supposed to learn last night on the road at K-State, they have to carry with them now for the rest of the season.
Here's Hansbrough on the dribble, on the break, and the flush. Coast to coast, Hansbrough. Now everybody is getting a little more excited inside the Smith Center. Tyrese Rice was called on an offensive foul on that last play, and that's pretty big too. He's got 2 fouls now, and it gives it back to North Carolina with a chance to extend their lead to double digits here with 90 seconds to go in the half. Ginyard for 3, and he got it. And North Carolina's got its biggest lead.
This is what Roy Williams is talking about. Where's our defensive consistency? We're on a little bit of a run on our home floor trying to close out the half. Can we lock them down one more time?
Harris way short on a three-pointer. Hansbrough clears it out of there. A minute to go in the half. Carolina looking to add to a 12-point cushion, and they do. Wayne Ellington. And now Boston College in a big hole. They were actually in front of this game at one point. Now it's all North Carolina.
That's not enough.
Oates with an air ball. That's not the way they wanted to start. And here they come the other way. Just what Jimmy said. And Lawson with a floater. He's got 7, and the lead balloons to 18.
It's hard to picture at home how fast Ty Lawson is from one end to the other.
Thompson with a slam, and North Carolina jumps out 4 straight points, and they lead by 20. The miss comes down on the rebound to North Carolina, and Lawson takes it coast to coast.
Wow, and that's the, you talked about all of his assists and very few turnovers, and think about it, Brad, how fast he plays. That's what makes those numbers even more impressive.
Right.
Just like these North Carolina kids, if they go into coaching Ty Lawson, what kind of offense you think he would run? Get up and down that floor.
Tyler Hansbrough up and under. Nice little hang time by the big guy. 5 minutes into the second half, and a 25-point North Carolina lead. You know, the guys at halftime were talking about, can a loss be good for you? We talked about a little bit earlier. This is a team that lost to Maryland 82-80. Then they came back and slammed Miami pretty good. And then after Danny Ferry looking on, former Duke All-American, now basically running the Cleveland Cavaliers. Ellington underneath.
The 39%. That's what Roy Williams is concerned with, that field goal percentage defense.
That last drive by Rice was just mano a mano with Lawson. He won that battle. But on the other end, so did Deon Thompson. And that is a career high for Mr. Thompson on the feed from Tyler Hansbrough. Well, number 21's got a chance to add to it.
Brad, and he scores before he ever touches the basketball.
And now Carolina's got about a 5-on-1. Here they come. Lawson all the way to the rack. And then North Carolina went on a run of 22-6 from that point up to halftime. And they maintained a 20 or better point lead for the majority of this half.
I appreciate what Al Skinner told us today. We were talking to him. He said, you know, I could turn my guys loose tonight and just let them play. And we've got some guys that can make some plays, but that's not how.
Well, we asked him, you know, when the last time he had a team this young, and he said he thinks his second year at Boston College, which would have been 9 years past. Tyler Hansbrough might have gotten away with a walk. I think somebody got a hand on the ball, and he just kept on going forward.
And Brad, the other part of the formula for North Carolina, it's the next injury that they certainly have to stay away from with Frasor gone.
Hansbrough, a 360 to throw it down. That most of them are cheering for the Patriots on Sunday in the Super Bowl, but they come from 12 different states, so there's not a whole bunch of guys that happen to be from the Boston area that are cheering for the Patriots. Hansbrough, one of the great free throw shooters, one of the great players in all of college basketball to get to the free throw line. He might get there right here. Seeking contact, no foul called, so he won't go to the line, at least not on that trip. 8 on the shot clock. Ellington, 3, and he got it. Wayne Ellington, second 3 of the half. 14 points for him.
Nothing wrong with Kansas losing at Kansas State. That's a bitter rivalry game. That was worth 10 points to Kansas State last night playing on their home floor. They won the game by 9. But now Kansas have to have some answers.
Josh Southern's had a good second half offensively. 8 points for Josh.
We have a big game Saturday at Arkansas, and that's one of those pound your chest opportunities if you're Florida to go on the road, get another road win, and walk off with that pound in your chest. Think, you know what, we're starting to grow up a little bit. They've got an opportunity.
Green for 3. His first field goal of the night. He's been averaging double figures. The last guy that was a bench player to average double figures for North Carolina was Marvin Williams, and that was for the now Atlanta Hawk back in the championship season, and Denny just added to it. So Danny might get there before it's over. Basket, the last one for Boston College. But North Carolina, another 20-win season for Roy Williams, his 18th. As North Carolina goes to 20-1, 5-1, and now they'll watch Duke play NC State tonight to see if there will still be a one-game separation atop the Atlantic Coast Conference standings. 91 right on the average for North Carolina. 91-69 the final over Boston College. That's going to do it from Chapel Hill.
It is a hoop party down indeed here on ACC Sunday Night Hoops from the Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill. Number 3 North Carolina entertaining the Clemson Tigers. Now a look at the ACC standings. A must for North Carolina to win, even to maintain contact with Duke, who beat them earlier in the week. And the big story coming into tonight's game, of course, what happened a week ago today. Ty Lawson went down with an ankle strain that cost him an opportunity to play against Duke, and he will not go tonight. So all eyes on Q, because Ty Lawson will be unable to go. Q is Quentin Thomas, the once seldom used guard, now a senior who's actually been playing well, will really be called upon to play at his best tonight. Mike, this North Carolina crowd is stunned. Hansbrough on his own, finally gets the first basket at the 17-20 marks. That ankle sprain from a week ago against Florida State costs Lawson yet another start. He did not play in the Duke game either. Hansbrough has a mistake made by Mays, trying to save it underneath the opponent's hoop. Halfway down the cylinder and out, and as you mentioned, he shot in tough luck in the last game. Ginyard had a lot to do with that with his defense. Danny Green with the first layup of the game.
You see the number right there, and against Duke, only 4 transition points in that game, which is, I can't even begin to tell you how below their norm that is. But Duke did a very good job not only getting back, but keeping those break opportunities to a minimum.
Green, a leaner, unable to find Tyler Hansbrough, and a bit glazed over their eyes on the offensive end. Hansbrough finally collects one inside. Deon Thompson's emergence has really helped Roy Williams a great deal this year. Oglesby rejected by Green, and it goes the other way.
And Danny Green has got the length to bother Oglesby like that. Really jammed him well. It's tough to block a jump shot, but he just played this perfectly.
Ellington, that ball was deflected by Booker, and the follow by Thompson. Clemson by 10. Hammonds. Danny Green the rebound, outlet to Deon Thompson. He stayed with it. Really bothered by both Hammonds and Oglesby, but he hung tough.
Well, I thought he really bailed his teammate out. You don't want to put a big guy in that type of position, but that was a terrific play by Deon Thompson to make the catch and the finish. Here's the look. Danny Green taking a bit of a chance, and why, that Thompson really showed a lot of concentration to corral the ball and then get it up to the rim. Hansbrough, he was the one reliable option.
No question. Stepheson saves it to Ellington. Oh, a big sequence there to draw Carolina to within 6. He played so well, Mike, when he was forced into duty on Super Bowl Sunday against Florida State, and I thought did not play poorly against Duke. He just didn't get a lot of help.
Career high 10 points for him. Contributor. He had, had a number of 6 turnovers in that game.
Ellington gets the 3 ball. A little story, you're defending off the ball, but you need to be on it as well. Ellington is open. Hello. He is cranking it up. He's got 9, and he's keeping North Carolina within contact.
Well, the last time he saw this colored jersey, he had 36, including the game winner down at Littlejohn. He's having a little bit of a flashback.
Stitt. Looking for some room, finds it. And nice defensive work by Quentin Thomas that time.
Demontez Stitt trying to do too much off the dribble in this game.
Ellington blows by and pulls up. That was a deuce, 36-29. And another rejection to open on the defensive end. This one by Mays. Thompson's got to take that shot. I don't know that he wanted the bank to be open late on Sunday. Ball was deflected, a takeaway. Quentin Thomas, end to end. The iron unkind, pulled down by Ellington. Still no numbers for North Carolina. Ginyard with a rainbow.
There's a look, good hustle play down the other end. Saves it to his teammate, saves a possession.
Inside to Stepheson. Timeout, Clemson. They've got Hansbrough away from the basket. Now, to his credit, he's able to put it on the deck and drive and follow. But that's a job well done by the Tigers. 2.5 minutes remaining. Hansbrough steps in off a lazy pass by Stitt. Count it, and a foul.
Hansbrough is so good at that, anticipating the passing lanes and knifing through. And this is one, I think, if you're Demontez Stitt, you got to let it go. Either you wrap the guy up and put him at the line, or just let it go and get the ball in.
And Demontez Stitt comes down gingerly on his ankle.
Yeah, and but he is a blur with the basketball.
Ellington. I think they're going to have to get Stitt out of there. They're going to quickly press him. Leads to a near turnover. Ellington almost picked it. That was incredible. That ball almost went in twice.
And they had a new clock, and I think Oliver Purnell wanted them to get out and set up more. I don't know if Potter felt like it was a recycle on that exchange.
Ellington. Down to 9, 6:50 and counting. 72-61. Ellington. Yes, and a foul. A seeing eye deuce with a little harm. 26 now for Hammond. Green gives it up to Hansbrough. How quick was that blow by on the baseline?
Green was locked up with Booker inside, and he couldn't help defensively. And once Hammonds got by on the first step, there was no help.
Ellington just inside the arc for the deuce. He has 24. Last outright conference title way back in 1939 for Clemson. They've shared the regular season crown from time to time. Never a tournament title in their history. And a steal by Green. Hansbrough. 79-72.
You really have to be careful with the basketball along the sideline, and that time Clemson got pinned in. Danny Green made a nice defensive play.
The burden brought forth by history. Hansbrough again, right where he wants it. Can you get it off your back, off your shoulders? 52 times in history. Clemson unable to win in Chapel Hill. Offensive foul. Timeout. Hansbrough senses it, and like a great white shark, his eyes light up when he's inside the painted area. Well, he barely got it across the timeline. Green, another tray. We're down to 2. Timeout, North Carolina. Green again.
So you can take that stat and throw it out the window. Let's see what he does.
And the North Carolinian comes up empty. Thomas on a clear out. We're tied at 82.
And I tell you what, as a starter, that's the ability he has shown.
Attack of the rack and a lob by Hammonds. There it is. Recovered by Green. We're going to overtime. Oh, the iron downright rude to Clemson.
Tough shot, and that's what Danny Green with his length can give you. He forced Rivers to really arc that shot.
Hansbrough working over Booker. Oh, flipping it up almost from his hip pocket. First lead of the game for North Carolina. 0 for 5 on the night. Thomas leaves it for Danny Green. Too strong. Ellington the long rebound. Hansbrough. May stripped him. He goes back again. 88-87, the All-America. That one grazed the front iron.
Well, that's what you need to do. Ellington needs to make him a driver and a 2-point scorer rather than a 3-point shooter.
Thomas on the secondary break. Hansbrough gets it. 92-90. Green is checking Rivers off the ball. Quentin Thomas on Hammonds. Hansbrough coming out to pressure Potter. He gets the steal. And the foul is on Potter.
Timmy, I don't want to go pro on you, but I remember I played Dave Cowan's made against Oscar Robertson in the playoff series, and that looked exactly like it. The big guy getting out and pressuring the basketball and getting to the free throw line. That man you don't want to foul.
Under a minute left. Shot clock at 15. They're playing straight up. And Ellington makes them pay. Largest lead for North Carolina. Ellington with 26. Rivers for 3. That one's deflected. Duke at Wake Forest. That Demon Deacons team has played so well for Dino Gaudio. A heck of a game midweek in the ACC with Maryland. They get to play Duke again, and boy, the Terps have been tough all year. Oglesby shot deflected. North Carolina 53 and counting at home against Clemson.
It's a cold, icy night in Charlottesville, Virginia. Winter weather advisory. So come on inside to the John Paul Jones Arena for tonight's game between the North Carolina Tar Heels and the Cavaliers of Virginia. Carolina's coming off a thrilling double overtime win Sunday against Clemson. Tyler Hansbrough led the way, scoring 13 of his 39 points in the 2 overtime periods. And Carolina escaped. But the Tar Heels come into Virginia banged up. Ty Lawson has missed 2 games with an injured ankle. Marcus Ginyard, he's nursing a sprained ankle, but will try to play. Ellington? Yes.
He has just been outstanding throughout the course of this year. Without question, has to be the leader for National Player of the Year.
Dave Lato is still trying to get a clarification on that foul on Singletary. This is a 3 ball, and that's good.
Probably Ginyard will have to come over and guard him.
Hansbrough down the lane, tough one-hander. Does anybody do that better? More bad news for Carolina, Billy. You saw Deon Thompson there getting his knee wrapped, and I know you've got ideas. When you ice it, you're done.
Yeah, that's not a good sign at all for North Carolina. And there was Hansbrough again, altering his shot.
Do so much for this ball club, and he's being physically beaten down. Here's Hansbrough for 2. Yes.
Looking for that shot more and more now. What it does, teams, Timmy.
There's no question that was one-on-one. Cavaliers giving it back to the Tar Heels, and they will run. Here's Thompson with the 2-pointer. Yes.
Same thing. Thompson stopping in the semi-fast break with the big men pulling up at 15, 16 feet, get wide open shots.
They need to make a stop and get some kind of offense generated.
They need to set some screens. There's another turnaround jumper. Hansbrough may have taken the day off in practice yesterday. Again, this club is 12th in the ACC in field goal shooting percentage.
and they are 11th in field goal shooting percentage defense. That's not a good combo.
That's a 3-ball by Thomas.
That's in a negative, but as I said before, he may be tired a little bit. Should have been out on Scott.
Nice move by Marcus Ginyard. Ginyard looks at the shot. Instead, the entry pass to Hansbrough for the turnaround. Money. Singletary makes it a 1-point game, and Hansbrough scores at the other end. He's got 12 points. And Billy, this may just turn out to be a shootout between Hansbrough and Singletary. Singletary loses it, and Thomas makes him pay at the other end, and he'll go to the line for one more. The foul is on Deon.
It was good anticipation by Ellington. He made the steal and realized Thomas was on the breakout. Good hit-ahead pass. Just soft enough to let Thomas run to it.
Virginia with its first lead since they had 5 points, but they've climbed back into this, baby, and they now lead it 29-28.
Green posting up down low.
Carolina's offense without a point guard in the game. Hansbrough at the top of the key. Shot clock at 8. Green penetrates. Shot clock at 5. And they nail it.
Well, there's nobody has a more perfect looking jump shot than Ellington. Well, I think without a point guard, it's a dangerous time for North Carolina as well. There's a foul, nothing called. Hansbrough scores anyway with 3 men pounding him.
Still a 2-point game. See the time remaining in the first half, 45 seconds.
There again.
Ellington with that sweet jumper.
And that was good patience by Ellington not to take the first shot opportunity that wouldn't have been as good.
Carolina pushes that lead to 5. Scott can't finish.
Hansbrough again with another rebound.
Talked about being a dangerous time the last minute and a half for the Cavaliers, and they've fallen down by 5. And the Tar Heels will try to add to it.
Hold it for the last shot, kind of like Villanova did against Georgetown last night. It didn't work out too well.
Incredible finish to that game. You hate to see a game ended at the foul line.
Particularly one played that hard.
Hansbrough, yes.
Good timing by North Carolina.
And a terrific run by Carolina to end the half. 8-0 run by the Tar Heels.
Good hustle by Pettinella.
And the shot clock is now at 10.
Tucker on Hansbrough on the inside.
Thomas, shot clock at 3. Bam! How about that? Ellington. Calvin Baker has 5 points.
Well, you see Thomas not wanting to pick up that 4th foul, but he's got to move his feet defensively to stop using his hands.
Thompson with the turnaround. Nice bank.
He winced, though, when he came down on that leg. Singletary not only has the physical skills, he really has the knowledge to what to do against those traps. Pulled the ball back out, then got the angle to break on the dribble.
Ellington, Hansbrough, Ginyard, back to Hansbrough. They double him, and he still tries to power it in. There's the whistle on the foul. And Ellington's going back to the line for a 3-point play.
Ellington is a solid 6'5". And when he gets down inside and he gets caught with smaller people, here's Hansbrough pumping, and almost gets it to drop it. There's Ellington, long arms, 6'5", just beats Baker to the ball.
Green, yes.
Ginyard has to realize Singletary's underneath him. He can shoot over the top of him when he gets down inside that 12-foot line.
Again, he has to go over Mikalauskis. There's Thompson underneath. Thompson.
He loves that glass. And
what a follow by Green.
No block out. Virginia not doing a good job blocking out.
And not the guy you want taking it.
That was not everybody in the crowd here saying he carried the ball, but what Green did was a smart thing. He never touched it. Well, that ball had taken that odd bounce.
Singletary had it halfway down.
Thompson with a good defensive play. He's running a little bit better now.
Boy, he and Mikalauskis are really going after it down low. And nice fall away by Thompson. 9:25 to play in the ball game. Singletary from beyond the arc has it blocked by Hansbrough. And Ginyard scores at the other end.
Good, powerful drive by Ginyard. What a help by Hansbrough. Came from way out underneath the basket.
Shot clock at 15, still plenty of time. This is Ginyard. Yes.
Oh, huge.
2-point game as we go under 6 minutes to play. Thompson answers. Hansbrough with another rebound. He could do that all night.
What a move. The push was just enough. A good point on you by you, Tim. That pushed just enough to alter that last shot.
And a great follow by Green.
Again, no block out from the weak side.
Pushes Carolina's lead to 6. 1:45 to play.
Good weak side help by Joseph.
Oh, good strong move inside by Ellington.
No double.
Shot clock at 20. Out to Thomas.
That's not the same as Lawson.
Shot clock at 10, 26 on the game clock. Inside to Hansbrough. Tough shot. And the jump hook goes.
He got just enough space.
They had the possession arrow on the tie-up. I'm surprised they took the timeout. Trouble getting the ball in bounds. Here we go. Clock is moving.
With a quick shot. There it is.
Singletary for 3. Yes! It's a 1-point game with 8.2 seconds left.
That was a good
foul.
pass.
And the foul on Ellington. Ellington's 2 for 3 at the line now.
And Virginia still has a chance here, even if he makes both. About that. Green kept it alive, and then Ginyard. Virginia never got a chance.
75-74. Billy, what a ball game.
Terrific ball game. The ACC continues with these close encounters.
Our Pepsi players of the game. Wayne Ellington, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 7 of 15 from the floor. And Sean Singletary, 27 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 steals.
From the Dean Dome on the campus of the University of North Carolina, this is NCAA basketball on CBS. Today we've got a hot one for you out of the ACC as the mid-ranked Tar Heels take on the young Hokies from Virginia Tech. And a look at the standings in the ACC. Duke, the class of the conference, they're undefeated. Carolina right in their hip pocket, and Virginia Tech in the hunt with a 5-5 record. The Dean Dome, 21,000 plus. Virginia Tech, winners here last season. They swept the series a year ago and were underway from Chapel Hill. Billy, what should we pay attention to early?
I think what we're going to have to look at early is what kind of leg shape does North Carolina have? They looked very tired yesterday. He's lifting his hands up wondering what was that foul all about. It's exactly what they were practicing yesterday.
Here's Hansbrough facing up on the baseline, 12-footer, and hits.
Thompson a little small to be guarding Hansbrough that low the basket. North Carolina, particularly if he's going to play behind him like that, is going to go to Hansbrough up. And look at that pick-off.
Here he comes. Hansbrough to the bucket. And it goes down. They had dead legs yesterday, but it looks like they're up now.
It really does. This team obviously had to travel on Monday. They played.
Here comes Delaney. Straight to the basket. No call. Looks like he was fouled there. And Carolina takes over. Ginyard has been playing with some gimpy feet. Thompson
Thomas will inbound it on the baseline. Ginyard, Thompson, Hansbrough, and Ellington. Ginyard with the step on the baseline, cut off nicely by JT Thompson. He's swinging. Thomas, 4 to shoot. Ellington, 1 dribble, rise and fire. Messiah, baseline, Washington.
Not a good ball.
Shooter. JT Thompson. Picked up. Ellington pushes it. Thomas tracks it down. Oh! Alex Stepheson with the tip jam.
Good hustle by Stepheson, always assuming a shot will be missed. Green on another block. That's his 89th career block for Green.
Green,
he wanted that jumper.
He wanted it. He told me before the game, all he needs to do is hit one, and he's ready. Stephenson, turnaround jump shot in trap. A good high and low. Here comes Thomas. On the baseline, Graves muscles it up.
I mean, he only knows one way to play.
Inside, Stephenson. Nice catch.
Good idea to get it out.
Ellington back in. Where's number 22 along with Green? Green around the corner, the teardrop inside.
He loves that little floater.
That's right. 24-13 Carolina. Now Hansbrough. Jump hook. Rattles home.
That's his patented turn hook. Tough to get to because of that upper body strength.
That's the shot right there, Billy, that Hansbrough was working on yesterday, and he would hit 8 out of 10 on a regular basis. Graves. He can shoot it.
Yes, a very good shooter. Roy Williams says not only a good shooter, he's going to have to step up and show he's a player.
5:51 to play first half. Carolina 29, Virginia Tech 13. That one halfway down, pops off, battle around. Danny Green with a rebound.
It was so funny yesterday in practice. He made so many shots that Greenberg said to him, "Are you ever going to miss?" Today he can't make one.
Back-to-back jump shots going down for Malcolm Delaney. 33-20. Ellington steps back. And
nice looking form on that jumper. They have got to get themselves under control as to what's going to be the situation for the rest of the year. Nice split.
Thomas. Oh, he sticks it. With
Nice
the left hand.
Thompson knee looks much better than it did at the University of Virginia. After he got hurt, he was noticeably limping. Yesterday in practice, he was slowed down a little bit, but Stephenson has played an outstanding first half.
Thomas, 3 to shoot, penetrates, dumps it down. That's a great play by a point guard that's learning and growing.
And Stephenson hustling down the court to be in position to score.
43-23, Carolina at the break. Aggressive to start this second half. Hansbrough with the rebound in the corner. Ellington off the dribble inside, changed his shot and baked it in.
This Virginia Tech team having all kinds of problems today. North Carolina is number 2 in the league in field goal shooting percentage at 48%. Virginia Tech at 44, but not getting it done today. And being a young team, they're very disheartened.
50-25. Seth Greenberg used to coach this South Florida, rather. Now inside, Hansbrough powers it up, and it goes down for Tyler Hansbrough. And it's a 3-point field goal for Deon Washington, 2 of 7 from the field now.
Virginia Tech is the 11th in scoring in the ACC. They've held 2 teams this year under 40 points. George Washington and Thompson showing a lot of ability in this ball game. He was asked to guard Hansbrough earlier on in the ball games. A very powerful young player.
He's a freshman. Road North Carolina. Hansbrough, baseline jump shot, good. He's got it all.
There's what he was working on yesterday. He probably, because he is reluctant just to take that shot, in time, I think when he gets positive, he's going to make a lot of those.
Green lays it in. I agree with you, Bill.
The way the pod system works, I could envision both of them being in Raleigh the first week of the NCAA tournament.
Backdoor Green, reverse layup and one.
And when you take a look at this, we talked about the brutal stretch that North Carolina has been through. The Florida State win, the opportunity to come here and they lost to Duke. Then that double overtime win against Clemson. It'd be best just to go and sit down on the end of the bench and let this game roll by, because there's not much he's going to do to alter it.
Inside, Hansbrough finds Copeland. He can't hang on. Great. Alex Stepheson replaces him. Under 10 to play, and here's Carolina leading at 67-32 baseline. Ellington.
Really good step out by Ellington. They are doing that. That's an extremely young team. As we remember last year, he was very similar to what this Virginia Tech team had, with all of those freshmen making up the nucleus of his team.
Ellington.
As I said, Gus, this guy's going to have a hard time getting into slumps.
Not necessary. Ginyard, he'll let it fly. And a nice release. 20 points.
There's Thomas again. See, trying to do things that are unnecessary.
That's a great block by Copeland. Inside, Ellington is Davidson.
Well, that brought the fans back into this ball game right here. You always try to come into Chapel Hill and take the fans out of the game if you're the visiting team. But basically, in this particular case, Virginia Tech took them out of the game by playing so poorly, particularly on the offensive end.
Ellington, a three, and it's good. He says that he models his game after the great Ray Allen.
And Roy Williams is going to go way down the bench right now.
Tanner in with Campbell. Graves knocks it down.
Second big jumper he's hit today.
The Tar Heels will improve their record to 24-2, 9-2 in ACC play. Virginia Tech falling to 5-6 in the conference, 14-11 overall. The final score from the Dean Dome here in Chapel Hill: Carolina 92, Virginia Tech 53. Coming up.
Almost 20,000 here at the RBC Center to see Wednesday Night Hoops presented by Staples. It's the nation's third-ranked team, the North Carolina Tar Heels, on the road to face the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. In the ACC standings, the Heels have moved to within a game of Duke at 9-2, with that rematch yet to come, while State has dropped 3 in a row to fall into a tie for 9th place.
But like you said, Mike, with any bad comes the good, and that good is Tyler Hansbrough, basically putting this team on his back, making a huge case right now for Player of the Year in the country. You see the numbers with Lawson. Now look at the numbers without Lawson. Increases to 27 points, 14 boards.
North Carolina State getting ball reversal on their first possession. And when you get ball reversal and make the defense move, you're more likely to get an open shot.
Hansbrough moving in against McCauley, wheels into the lane. What a beautiful move.
Hansbrough is so good at getting contact and also at seeking it out. But he's got to pick up Thomas.
In ACC play, he is averaging.
Gavin Grant just knocking that ball away, and a 3-on-1 break. Grant is at his best in transition.
And they don't get much of that, do they? Ellington, this guy is the key. He was in a shooting slump, finally broke out of it.
Well, they're calling a play they call 4X. It's a slice cut by Courtney Fells, then looking for a stagger on the opposite side, but Fells wide open off that slice.
Ellington with a hanger. Kicks it ahead to Ellington for a pull-up jumper. That's his shot, but it won't go. Got it back. Hansbrough. Costner, nice job of picking him up, but Hansbrough goes ahead and knocks it down.
And Hansbrough was the guy that really made that play by knocking the ball away and keeping it alive for Wayne Ellington to grab.
Ginyard. He's their best on-the-ball defender, and that steal leads to a 15-15 tie.
All right, nice job there by Javier Gonzalez. The little penetration to draw the defender and then kick it to Grant. And to his credit, Grant was ready to shoot as the ball arrived.
Hansbrough backing in against Costner. Nobody gave him any help.
We sat in shoot-around today, Jay, and we saw that NC State wants to front him. They want him outside that paint, as you see him catch right here. But they've done a good job thus far limiting his touches as he scores.
15 to shoot. Thomas almost handed the ball to Stepheson.
He came over before the game and whispered in my ear, you know, I've been watching you for a long time. And I was like, who are you kidding? I've been watching you longer.
Hansbrough, a lot of contact, no call as Hickson goes down. That'll get the fans into it.
Well, this is a man's game inside. A nice job by Gonzalez and a nice job by NC State to stick with it.
What a prayer. Ellington was trying to draw a foul. I guarantee you, he never thought that ball was going to go in. He didn't get the foul, but he line drive the jump shot right in the bucket. And Tennessee is playing so well. Memphis, of course, unbeaten. I think most of us are going to be watching Saturday night, don't you?
Oh, no question. I mean, that's got a chance to be one of the best games of the year. Two teams that are going to get up and down the floor and that can really guard you.
Hope it lives up to the hype. Thompson. Hickson missed everything.
Really well done defensively. Making Hickson go over the top, not giving him an angle to the basket.
Hickson not known for his defense. Lost Hansbrough. Hansbrough gets the bucket and a foul.
And again, Hansbrough driving right, spinning back left. And if you'll note, Brandon Costner just stood there and watched. Driving back, Costner a spectator. Costner should be there. Number 33 should have stepped right in there.
Green lost it. Thomas got it back. Ginyard baseline. Good ball movement. This is a three, and it's right down to the bottom of the net.
That was horrible transition defense by North Carolina State. Horrible.
Ellington hits the last shot of the half, and North Carolina comes back to take a lead.
North Carolina State did a pretty solid job on the offensive end. You can see shooting 52% from the floor in that first half. That's a fair clip better than 18% in Chapel Hill, isn't it?
18% is just witheringly bad. Thomas into Hansbrough with a fadeaway jumper.
But you got to give him a lot of credit, J.J. Hickson, for being patient. But you also need to stay on the ground with that little shot.
Sure do.
You know, Tyler Hansbrough lifts up his eyebrows, and all of a sudden J.J. Hickson is in the air.
I mean, if Hansbrough is going to do you the favor of taking a 22-footer, you let him.
Yeah, you want to get late pressure on that shot, but there's no reason to leave the floor to put pressure on it.
Grant really starting to force his offense. You can tell he wants to shoot. Nice drive by Thomas. Gets the bucket and draws the foul.
Now that's something in the first half, as Stacey Dales mentioned, we didn't see a lot of. You can see Ty Lawson, who is expert at getting the ball up the floor in transition, but that wasn't a dead sprint break. Hickson can go over either shoulder when he gets the ball inside. One of the few opportunities he's had for single coverage.
44-38, and as they have done so often, North Carolina now finding a way to get the ball into the low post to Hansbrough.
Well, just a weak double team, and if you come over with anything other than strength, Tyler Hansbrough is going to take advantage of you. You can't give him any space. He takes up the space very effectively.
Gonzalez with Thomas on it. Hansbrough with a save.
Ball screen in transition. Nice job by Thomas. That's pretty.
Pull-up jumper, got the roll.
You know, Lawson, I actually worked with Lawson when he was in high school, when he was at Oak Hill Academy during the Skills Academy at Nike. And one of the things about Lawson, he is not a vocal player. And with Bobby Frasor out with that knee injury and out for the season, you know, having Quentin Thomas more active and more vocal is really helpful for this team. And great ball movement by North Carolina. They're starting to cut up North Carolina State right now. You know, North Carolina's pressure has really improved. Marcus Ginyard out front guarding Javier Gonzalez. That's an easy steal.
Yeah, it was. Bad pass. McCauley trying to get back in camp. Once you pick up your dribble against a team with this kind of quickness, you better throw a laser for a pass, and he didn't. Excuse me, that was Stepheson, not Ginyard.
Screen for the screener action. Couldn't get anything out of it.
Ellington with a long three. Sweet. The lead is 15. Every possession right now is huge for NC State.
It's funny, people talk about North Carolina not being able to defend, but they've done a great defensive job against North Carolina State, especially in the second half.
They blocked Marcus Johnson right there. Ginyard with a runner got the roll. Deon Thompson again played early. Haven't seen a lot of action in the second half. That means more minutes for Stepheson. And here's Ginyard at the other end. Nobody touched him.
Well, you just can't relax after you score and jog back. Just a relentless rebounder with a 7'3" wingspan. And now that they've got Levance Fields back, they should be a much, much better team down the stretch.
63-49, and North Carolina starting to shoot lights out. Ellington now with 19 points.
How pretty was that, Mike? Coming off the baseline and setting himself to shoot. His shot preparation is truly outstanding. He was ready to shoot when that ball got there, and there was nothing the defense could do about it.
And he's got that sweet, sweet stroke. Ahead to Thomas. North Carolina with a textbook fast break.
And you wonder whether Lowe has been sending a little bit of a message, or he needs to get a different look out there with more perimeter players. Give McCauley an opportunity as a better post passer if the ball goes in, but he can find open shooters where Hickson has struggled.
I like McCauley in that role. Do you?
Very good. Yeah, you know, Hickson obviously the better scorer.
Thomas double clutch, and he made it.
And a foul, so he sits over there with 4 boards, guys. He just came off a 23-board game against Clemson. As you see, Ellington hit that jumper. So they're looking for more consistency, perhaps, Jay.
Just out-hustle. And it's one thing to get beat by better players. It's another thing to get out-hustled. And right now, North Carolina State is getting beat to 50-50 balls. Look at this. Oh, man. I mean, that is Matador defense. Wave the red cape. Holy cow.
They didn't even use a cape. And there was plenty of room for a bull to go down the lane.
And that young man, end-to-end, with all due respect to Jeff Teague and Ish Smith, is the fastest player not only in the ACC. I think he's the fastest player in the country end-to-end with the ball in his hands.
You know, I was really impressed by Teague. He's actually close.
Dino Gaudio, who's Skip Frassor's best friend, and I was very fortunate to be able to call Skip a friend. So he has said these are Skip's kids, this is Skip's team. But with all due respect to Dino for saying that,
floor burns even look better than experience.
Everything does.
The blood dripping down a player's face.
They didn't have to go there.
Oh, good play by Ginyard. I think this Carolina team, when healthy,
you may be looking at the best team in the country. And obviously, Kansas and UCLA and Memphis can make great claims to that as well.
Is going to end in disappointment. They won it here a year ago, but this will be the 5th time in 6 years that North Carolina has swept this bitter series.
Well, North Carolina just wears you down over the course of a game. Now, you can hang with them, but ultimately those body shots that they give you are going to wear you down and get to you, and that's what happened to NC State.
The Heels win another one. They go to 25-2. A half game out of first place in the NCAA. I mean, in the ACC, excuse me. And tonight's road game player of the game, Tyler Hansbrough. Pretty good line. 32 points on 11 out of 19 shooting, 12 boards, 5 steals. The 5th time in his brilliant career that he has gone over 30 points.
Yet another ACC showcase on Sunday Night Hoops, presented by Pizza Hut. We're at the Dean Smith Center, and yes, no regrets, as you better bring it in the conference as you see the finish line in front of you. North Carolina tied with Duke. Now Wake Forest, after last week's heroics against Duke, find themselves tied for 3rd in the loss column.
And keep in mind that T can really bring a lot of defensive pressure. 2 steals a game for him.
Thompson. Marcus Ginyard leaving it for Quentin Thomas. You'd think that Ellington has to help Hansbrough a lot. This team has become much more dependent on Tyler for a variety of reasons, including that one. He can beat you off the bounce. Ellington for 3.
Right, just doing what they did to Duke, attacking inside and using those big bodies down low.
Hansbrough showing you that face-up game, which has really improved just over 3 minutes gone. Both teams with a dozen each.
And this is a perfect start for Wake Forest as far as confidence is concerned.
Oh, counted and a foul. Ellington gets it on the 10. L.D. Williams gets the foul.
They do such a great job of cutting off the post, and there you see L.D. Williams get hung up at the free throw line and the traffic up there.
Look at Smith recover. What a nice move by Smith. That was a tough pass. Ball deflected, and Ellington gets it out of there and pulls up. Stepheson the follow.
That was from 30. There was some range on that and very little effort in it.
Thompson back into the game. Not much elevation there. Green with the follow.
It was because of the size of Green. Hale had to alter his shot and put more arc on it and overshot the rim.
Will Graves finds Green. Danny Green with a triple. He has 6. Green gets the offensive rebound. Off the ball, Hansbrough and Clark got tied up. Crowd responding to that somewhat. Here's Graves for 3. Will Graves. Teague has his pocket pick. Hugh with a quality move to Ginyard. The length of Quentin Thomas coming into play to lead to that fast break opportunity.
You know what? He gets into the paint area. He is very effective. He's open because of that screen roll and the defense collapsing.
Hansbrough making it look easy over McFarland. Ginyard with the dump down. Stepheson, who will be called upon to play perhaps. Shot clock under 10. Thomas, oh, nice look to Hansbrough. Nice look. Quentin Thomas showing his senior leadership, finding Hansbrough there. He made some key long-range shots a week ago against Duke. Stepheson, nice jump hook.
So he has elevated his game when they need him.
Young teams tend to struggle on the road for a reason, and poise down the stretch of a half can sometimes be a factor. We'll see how Wake responds as they are wobbling a bit now. Hansbrough, look at the strength, and the lead to double digits for the first time. Ellington at the buzzer. Yes! Dino Gaudio believes he clearly walked, and he is hot.
Take a look. That long cross-court risky pass, and it did look like he shuffled a little bit backing up.
Yes.
That's the key thing, though, he was backing up doing it.
Yep. Yeah, that's one of those NBA moves there.
Getting the ball in his hands, very good off the dribble. If he takes 1 or 2 in that time, he got to the rim quickly.
Hansbrough blows by Johnson. Double team did not come in time from Weaver. Ellington off the bounce. Another 3. He's got 15 on the night. In Chapel Hill, North Carolina, ACC Sunday Night Hoops from the Dean Dome. Tim Brando, Mike Ginyard, Dead Antonelli. Ellington. Stepheson follows. When he makes the trip back, and we talked to Roy about this before the game, I think one of the critical aspects of the North Carolina late season will be how they handle, from a chemistry standpoint, speeding back up again when Ty Lawson is available. There's Quentin Thomas right on cue.
Just waiting for the play to develop and your big man to get open, and Wake Forest weathering that storm a little bit. North Carolina now in a bit of a drought offensively.
Well, most of their stops, Mike, have come by way of the turnover. Thompson, well, it's just not there for him. Green tips it in. Hansbrough off the bounce.
Doing a terrific job.
Looking at probably a 2 or 3 seed, perhaps. Ginyard, that's too easy. Hansbrough gets the long rebound.
Skeen that time fell asleep. You got to block out. That long rebound would have been right to him.
Graves again.
And because of that, Tim, you give up 3 points.
Not there. Hansbrough gets the rebound. His 5th of the night. Green. 15 for Danny Green, the lead up to 15, largest of the night. Timeout, Wake Forest. No putbacks for Wake Forest. North Carolina has really blocked out.
Well, I think if you're McFarland, you may want to get a sweat, run up and down a little bit before you get into the action offensively.
Hansbrough, nothing McFarland could do. The help from Johnson, not enough. 24 for Tyler Hansbrough.
That big double team doesn't work if it's too far off the lane because Hansbrough is too quick.
This guy can make you panic, though, number 50.
There's North Carolina being very patient.
Ellington with 2 to shoot.
You know, that's a perfect possession for them right now in this type of game.
Teams are always going to try to take the air out. North Carolina will be forced to play at a slower pace in the opening rounds of the NCAAs, and their set offense with Quentin Thomas is far improved over what it was when Ty Lawson was playing. Hansbrough gets an easy one inside. That'll do it. A different Sunday on the road for Wake Forest, but Roy Williams' team too difficult to match up with when you're in foul difficulty, and Wake Forest was, particularly with Chase McFarland. The updated standings in the ACC. Look at that group with 6 losses. Many of those teams are vying for opportunities to be a part of the Ides of March, and North Carolina setting the pace, and Duke.
We welcome those of you watching arena football from Georgia, where the Desperados beat the Force, and the Force is with the Eagles here in the opening 3 minutes. With Jimmy Dykes, I'm Brad Nessler. We're 3 minutes into the game, and Boston College, courtesy of Tyrese Rice, 3 straight three-pointers, has hopped out to an 11-point lead over the number 2 team in the country. How about Tyrese Rice? 3 straight, just boom, boom, and boom. North Carolina beat Boston College the last day of January in Chapel Hill, 91-69. I don't think they ever had a double-figure lead in that game, and we did it. And there's 4 in a row for number 4. Hansbrough, baseline jumper, and 1. And North Carolina comes up with the ball. Quentin Thomas. Green misses from the outside. Eagles had their hands on it, but North Carolina ends up knocking it away. And now Hansbrough forcing it inside, and a chance for another 3-point play. Well, it's been a long time, and Ty Lawson, you can see the ankle brace, the black brace on the left ankle, injured about 4 minutes into the Florida State game, has not played since. Roy Williams told Jimmy and I a couple hours ago, we want to get him some time before Tuesday, which is a final home game for North Carolina. And then, of course, a week from tonight is the big one against Duke, and they can't keep waiting forever. Thursday was really the first day he's gone against anybody defensively, which he's doing right now against one of the better scorers in the country because of that ankle. Here's the matchup.
Go right at him if you're Rice early.
And another 3. Too strong. Rebound. Boston College and Sanders. Rice, pull up. Another. Got another.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
6 threes.
When so much at stake in this ball game, Brad, for North Carolina, they continue to go back to their National Player of the Year on the road when you're down. That's exactly what you do.
In much as shock as the rest of the country and the packed house here by the shooting of this young fella. 20 already. And make it 22.
This is the best 7 minutes you and I have ever seen doing a college basketball game together by Tyrese Rice.
Now Thompson. Rebound Copeland. Battle underneath in the lane. Copeland finally comes out of the pile with it. Here's Ty Lawson, long 3. Had to take it, and now tipped in by Green.
The fact that they've only scored over 80 points once the entire month of February, and Carolina has averaged 87 points during the month. You know Boston College offensively must have everything working today to pull off the upset.
And Carolina adds 2 more from Deon Thompson.
At times, North Carolina on film the last couple of weeks can still be exposed defending the dribble of the basketball with quick guys getting into the lane. That's exactly what Paris did to him.
Underneath, nice feed by Hansbrough to Danny Green.
The best offense for Boston College, Tyrese Rice shooting threes, and other guys able to do something off of the bounce against North Carolina, an area they have struggled.
Well, they had their biggest lead, but it was only momentary as Ginyard got the feed down low.
He will overtake Christian Laettner's all-time ACC 713 made free throws.
And the all-time as Rice takes another three and got another three.
That's what I called for on the last possession. He is on fire. I am shocked. I'm telling you right now, I am shocked that it's 42-24. We did this first ball game, and it was a knockout punch by North Carolina on their home floor.
Baseline three goes. Will Graves. Boston College has 10 assists on their 15 made field goals. Usually North Carolina leading the country in assists that has that number. Danny Green. Ellington picked up his dribble. Hansbrough, and Boston College picks up the defensive pressure. We haven't had to worry about the shot clock much today, but it is at 10 right now for Carolina. Quentin Thomas slipped in the lane, got his own would-be pass, and got it to Hansbrough. Chance for a three-point play again.
That's a Psycho T at his best, because late in the clock he's going to hang around the rim expecting loose balls, offensive rebounds, or things just to end up in his paws. Find Rice. You better find Rice. Got it! Find Rice, or it'll be fried rice. Wow! Even Roy Williams is clapping.
8 3-pointers in a half. And now he's cheerleading as well.
Keep an eye on Ellington if you do.
Here's Ellington in the lane.
He's so good, Brad, at operating off the out of bounds against the zone because he's a slasher and a floater, and he just attracts the basketball.
And now it's Ginyard again on Rice.
Ginyard's bigger. Is he quick enough now to keep Rice out of the lane?
Raji picked up his dribble, got it in the corner. Sanders three is short. Tracked down by Ellington on the run. Quentin Thomas and now Ginyard and Hansbrough in low. Hansbrough at 17 points at halftime. Here's Lawson. Cross-court pass. Green for three. Got it. Danny Green. Green with a rebound. And now it's Lawson. Ahead with a pass to Copeland inside. We've had one sensational superstar performance by Tyrese Rice. If you just joined us, he's got 38 points, and we've got a long ways to go. Danny Green, he's going to keep doing it. That's his second three of the half. 10 points for the game. And this is as close as it's been in a long time. How many big guys do you find that does that around the country? And he also leads the team in steals. That's not normal for your big man underneath either.
For those reasons, he is my National Player of the Year right now, ahead of Beasley. And here come the Carolina Tar Heels.
Ellington with a three. Timeout. Boston College. Still a lot of basketball left. 13 to play. The lead's been cut to 6. North Carolina on an 11-0 run to cut what was once an 18-point lead down to 6. And now North Carolina comes up with a steal. Ahead to Hansbrough. And now Green for a triple, and he got another one.
And they have really started pressuring other guys, and Danny Green has capitalized on that North Carolina defense by knocking down shots.
3 threes for Danny Green this half. And that has helped the cause. It's a 1-point game. North Carolina has never led and have trailed by as many as 18. They lead now for the first time.
A great set call by Roy Williams in the timeout.
And now it's BC back in front. Lawson baseline, up and under. And now it looks like his ankle's getting warmed up.
They're just too strong around the rim.
Boston College had 2 tries, didn't hit either. 3-on-2, Carolina. Ellington got it. Hansbrough backing in. Up, under, tips, and in by Ginyard.
And they're only up 1 with 8 minutes to go, so Boston College now still hanging in, although the lead has evaporated.
Nice pass down low by Thomas. Ellington for 3. Got it. Wow.
Brad, he has developed his strength in the offseason. Now he can get his own shot and get separation. And that's a great example of it with a strong foot move and a step back. Boy, Roy Williams knows he does not want this to be a 2 or 3 point game with 2 minutes to go. Not with a guy like Tyrese Rice on the floor. He needs to deliver a knockout blow right now in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
Thomas got up in the air, got it to Thompson. Deon Thompson off the feed from Thomas, and it's a 4-point Carolina lead again.
He's their Tarzan. He's their guy that can come in and make plays through traffic with strength. Defensively, he will really help North Carolina in their run to a national championship if they can pull it off.
Harris for 3. Rebound, Ginyard. And ahead to Ellington, who's been hot this half. So is Danny Green. And here's Green on the other side. A triple. Got it.
Beautiful, I'm saying beautiful ball movement by North Carolina. First of all, the fast push of the basketball, Brad. They got it up with 32 seconds still in the shot clock. The defense has to respond to that speed. And when it becomes a speed game, the Tar Heels are the best in the country.
So a 6-point North Carolina lead with just over 6 to go. Hansbrough all alone. I don't know how he got away from Blair that far. And then Blair added problems to it by fouling him. Green. And now Hansbrough against Oates inside. Score it.
It's all the intangibles, though, that Tyler Hansbrough brings. The steals, the hustle plays, the bloody nose, the passion, all those extras that he brings. I think he has to be the National Player of the Year.
Here's a steal. Hansbrough may have forced it. Ellington flushes it on the other end.
There's your intangible, partner.
Yep, that's exactly what you were talking about.
And for North Carolina to continue to win like they've done without Ty Lawson, the straw that certainly stirs the drink, which is Tyler Hansbrough, tells me they're strong.
Al Skinner wants this young fella to get what he deserves, and he takes him out with 46 points, the second most in Boston College history, to a standing ovation. And if Jimmy and I weren't so busy, we'd stand and cheer as well. North Carolina, you're probably looking at the new #1 team in the country, folks. Do they have to battle, or do they have to battle? They put up 50 in the second half. They score 90, which is their average. And they beat a pesky Boston College team led by a sensational 46-point performance by Tyrese Rice, and they win it today. 90-80 is the final for North Carolina as they keep pace with the Duke Blue Devils atop the ACC with a 12-2 mark. What a show we got today in Chestnut Hill.
The storied history of North Carolina basketball is housed in this beautiful museum in the shadow of the Dean Dome. 5 national championships, 16 ACC tournament titles, one of the most prestigious and successful programs in the nation. Tonight, North Carolina brings the #1 ranking into the Dean E. Smith Center for senior night as Florida State comes calling. It's the Tar Heels and the Seminoles in Chapel Hill. For North Carolina, their goal is to be the #1 seed in both the ACC and NC2A tournaments. The Tar Heels are tied for first in the conference with a date with Duke Saturday night. It's always an emotional night. When you play your last game at home, the realization and finality of it all seems to take over. We're at the Dean Dome, and they are fired up here for Florida State and North Carolina. The Tar Heels ranked #1 in the nation. Florida State still clinging to the hope that they can make it to the NCAA tournament. The 3 wins in a row, Clemson, Boston College, and NC State. The Noles playing with confidence.
Ellington hasn't had the ball in his hands yet.
Here's Wood, and the senior scores the first bucket for Carolina.
Good backdoor cut by Wood, and nice look by Ginyard on the inside. A breakdown by Florida State that's been holding their opponents in the last 3 games about 15 points under their normal scoring average.
And Mims misses the layup at the other end. Missouri Wood has a memory for a lifetime. Ginyard, reverse layup, good.
Good hit ahead by Ellington. I really thought it was kind of a dangerous pass. We had a good angle on it, Tim, and you wonder, is that a smart play to throw? The score being what it is early in this ball game, trying to get some possessions without turnovers.
Took 2.5 minutes to get Carolina on the board. Now they've hit 2 in a row. Here's Rich.
It's the second good move he's made on Ginyard. Beat him that time. The shot didn't go, though.
Great. Nice crossover move. The pass to Wood, bobbled. Ginyard, yes.
That was excellent passing. Good rotation by Thomas. The extra pass created a wide-open jumper. And hits ahead just as North Carolina did.
Thomas to Wood. He's got another bucket.
How about that? That what he did on his own.
The senior's on fire.
And missed that Ohio State game in which North Carolina played so well in that ACC Big Ten.
Oh, what a pass by Lawson. Oh, my.
That was Green going above everybody.
And the pass was there waiting for him. Number 1 team in the nation, trailing by 4. Turnovers have been a factor here early. Lawson looks up at the clock.
Hansbrough's got to look to take that jump shot. He can make that shot. He's just not ready to take it in games.
Ginyard, great penetration.
Well, we saw him elevate earlier in this ball game.
Gives Florida State a 21-17 lead.
There's the jump shot I'm talking about.
Hansbrough with a 2-pointer.
That shot is there all day long, particularly against league teams. Pretty nice looking release by Vaughn. A good young prospect that Florida State has.
See the turnovers by Carolina. Here's Ginyard. Hansbrough with another rebound in the putback.
First time in the ball game. Ellington has not been able to get started tonight at all. Missed that wide open jumper to start the ball game and hasn't felt comfortable yet.
Lawson again open and makes the 3. He only watched him a half, but he ended up spending almost a half of his lifetime with him.
That's right. Let him die. I don't know how many championships.
Here's Green. Yes, sir. Carolina starting to explode here at the end of the first half. By the way, Swan had the reconstructive surgery the other day. Friday, I believe. Here's Green for 3.
Yes, sir. See the difference? A man squaring up, settling his feet, and looking positive on the jump shot. Oh, I think, and because so many teams have something to play for, including this club, North Carolina, that'd like to have a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament to be able to play in Raleigh.
Here's Copeland, who just checked in, almost throws it away. Green for 3. Great follow by Ginyard. And
see,
there's that leaping ability.
Absolutely. You can see that Ginyard is back to 100%, or at least 99%. So quick and strong.
Cuts the lead to 7. Thomas dribbles into trouble and gets out of it. Escape artist.
Well, Reed thought he was going to pass it out. You've got to question the shot. Reed doing a little bit better job coming out on Hansbrough.
Turnaround by Thompson is good. You got a shot of him there. Rich looking for an avenue. Off balance, has it blocked. Boy, Green's been everywhere tonight.
Well, Rich doesn't find many guys as athletic as Green, who really did a job. Stepheson doing a good job. He's starting to come on.
Nice pass to Thompson.
And as we pointed out early in the game, Florida State not very deep. Leonard Hamilton doesn't want it. Beautiful inbounds pass.
Here's Lawson for 3.
That was a much better looking jump shot there than anything he took in the first half.
He goes now, he's just dribbling into trouble.
Green looking for somebody underneath. Kicks it out to Ellington.
Gray's for three. Gray's a good shooter and not afraid to take that shot.
Lawson had a look. He hesitated again.
One of the things on a jump shooter, you've always got to block him out, make sure he doesn't get his own.
Here he is for two. Yes. Looked pretty good there.
The Carolina fans very encouraged when he does something good. They know how important he is to this team down the stretch.
Oh, Billy, no question. I think every time he touches the ball, Carolina fans are evaluating him. Here he is out in front. Stop, pop.
There you go. There you see a jump shot that looked very positive. He's playing much better here in this second half than he did in the first. And that knocks Purdue out of a tie for first place in the Big Ten.
So the Buckeyes get the upset tonight.
And the Buckeyes on the bubble as is Florida. It would be the first time in the history of the NCAA tournament that the two teams that were in the national championship, neither one got into the next year's tournament.
Hansbrough banks it in.
Good pass by Thompson.
Etchpoo said it was blocked. Should be Florida State ball instead. Carolina just rips at the other end to Green. Had the open three, and Rich couldn't hit it. Hansbrough right around Mims, who fell down.
I tell you, I've seen Hansbrough probably 3 or 4 times this year get the ball at half court. He puts it on the floor and flies to the basket.
He's right there.
So he has made up for what Douglas has not done.
Nice look. And Ginyard finishes. Green bobbled it. Shot clock down to 9. Thomas, too easy.
Pretty nice play on his part, though. He recognized that the defender he had him on his hip. Thomas got some size to him when he goes inside.
Lawson with a rebound, and he goes ahead to Thomas.
As I said, he plays pretty tall. Thomas is almost 6'4". Now he's going to have his hands full with Hansbrough. Let's see if North Carolina goes inside.
Saw the field goal percentage of Carolina here in the second half. Tar Heels have been on fire. Florida State needs a stop. Here's Green.
There's the difference. Reed
put back in one more.
Reed would put a body on Hansbrough. I didn't think the guard could handle him inside. The young man will have to get a lot tougher. So North Carolina now shooting over 75% in this second half.
Unbelievable. And Hansbrough now with 19 points and 8 rebounds. Vaughn missed the front end. That'll hurt you. Ellington takes it right to the hoop. That's an exclamation point.
That game had so much emotional and physical energy that it took a lot out of both of those ball clubs. So it'll be interesting Saturday when the game means so much more than it even did earlier in this year. You wonder how much it'll sap getting ready for the ACC tournament.
Good point. Nice pass to Ellington. So Ellington now has 6 points.
6 points, but remember, 4 of those in the last 2 possessions for North Carolina. He hadn't done much all game with that patented shot of his.
Well, the crowd's enjoying this. They're on their feet for the final home game of North Carolina. They're going to end their home season here as the #1 ranked team in the nation. An emphatic win tonight.
Good cut.
Thomas again.
You know, this North Carolina team did not lose a game on the road this year.
I saw his mom and dad before the ball game. They were so proud as he was introduced here. And to start the way he did, Quentin Thomas with the foul. And he's disqualified on senior night, and he's loving every second of it as mom and dad look on.
You know, how important has this young man been for this ball club? You know, given up for lost a year ago at this time, you know, figured he's never going to be a factor again, but he has been a guy, and give him an awful lot of credit for this team return to #1 ranking. 8 points, 4 assists on the night. But a lot was asked of the young guy during that stretch with Lawson's out, and he really contributed. And yet he handled it very well.
Now Surrey Wood will go out. Nice gesture on the part of Roy Williams, who wants him to get a standing ovation and leave the ball game.
Well, he will be able to say, I played the perfect game.
Mom's crying and Dad's proud, and it doesn't get any better than that.
It's a nice job for Douglas to kick that out to a teammate.
Yeah, O'Donnell knocks it down.
Yep, he could have taken a bad shot, instead kicked it out.
Carolina stays #1 in the nation. 90-77 is the final. We'll wrap it up and have some final thoughts when we come back.
Atmosphere speaks for itself here inside a sold-out Cameron Indoor Stadium. The students lining up who knows how long to get the best seats they can get here inside this historic building. Saturday prime time presented by DirecTV, and this is the one they've been waiting for here on Tobacco Road. The #1 team in the nation, the North Carolina Tar Heels, are here in Durham to try to avenge a defeat to the Blue Devils from earlier this season. As if that weren't enough, as Reese mentioned, another thing that's at stake here tonight, the outright ACC regular season championship. Hi, everybody.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Aaron. In that game, Tyler Hansbrough had 27 points and was dominant, 10 rebounds, and they beat the Duke Cameron Crazies here, 83-76 on J.J. Redick night, Sheldon Williams night. Two key players tonight. I think a key player for North Carolina has to be Wayne Ellington. He can go 3 for 14 like he did in the first matchup.
Carolina only made 3. Henderson, more of an athlete, more of a slasher than an outside shooter, but he was pure on that first shot.
I remember in game 1, we did not see Lawson. We'll see him for at least about 25 minutes tonight.
Wayne Ellington just 3 for 14 in the first game against Duke. Makes a tough turnaround.
You talk about a tough shot. I mean, that's a sign of a good night. You know, both guys that made the first shot, how's this? They played in high school together.
That's right. High school teammates up in the state of Pennsylvania. DeMarcus Nelson, the senior, the leading scorer for the Blue Devils at better than 15 a game. The rebounding figures to be a key as well. Carolina's got the best rebound margin in the country. Duke, as you know, is not a very big team. Look at Hansbrough fighting for it and cashing in. Hollis had 6 threes in the win over Carolina last month. Misses his first try tonight. Marcus Ginyard end-to-end. And the follow is good for Deon Thompson. Mike Krzyzewski screaming that that ball was in the cylinder. Alex Stepheson is in as well. Hansbrough's out early. Probably not for long. Nice feed. Lawson to Green.
I'll tell you, he does things you can't teach. He creates, he innovates, good penetration off the dribble. I told you before the show, he could be a key player off the bench. Look at him run.
Wow.
Look at them get the ball up the court.
Singler spins, has it taken away.
North Carolina playing better defensively as a unit. Something that was really a question mark early this year.
Danny Green from Marcus Ginyard. Green defended by Nelson. Hansbrough's got Singler on him right now. Green driving, takes a bump, finishes strong.
He's very worried about senior DeMarcus Nelson. He said, I don't want him to use up too much energy tonight. He's scoreless so far, guys, but he has been talking to guys like Greg Paulus, other his teammates, and saying, just calm down, calm down.
they got to get a hand in the face of Danny Green.
Well, we talked on the top of the show. I tell you, two important players for North Carolina, Green and Ellington.
Yep.
They were 4 for 24 in the first. Positive force, as you said earlier. Shire and Green, two of the best roll aid specialists in America.
Lawson back in at the point for Carolina. Hansbrough driving on Singler, backs him down and lays it in.
Can't play him inside. Take a look at the All-American, the All-Rolls Roycer. Tenacious Tyler. Oh, is he tenacious? Tough Tyler, I'll tell you, he is special.
How about in his 5 games against Duke, he's averaging about 22 points and 11 rebounds per game. There's Lawson.
Can't teach that, my friends.
Hey, if that's 80%.
Are you serious? If he is healthy, this is my team to win the national championship. Came out of Oregon like Kevin Love did.
Danny Green, he's got a dozen, Dick.
He's a tough competitor. David Cutcliffe might want to get him.
Ellington with the answer at the other end for the heels.
Well, Ellington and Green have responded tonight. They didn't respond in game 1. They were 4 for 24.
Hansbrough on a switch on Paulus, a deep 3. And Green rips down the rebound in traffic. 4-on-1.
Oh, what a great job. What a terrific job in transition. I mean, you couldn't plan that any better as a coach. They run their fast break drills, not any better than that. Give and go, the simplest play in the game, Mr. Schulman. You give it and I go.
Up to a 10-point lead now for Carolina, playing Roy Williams basketball on that trip.
Run, baby, run. That's Roy's style.
Knocked away. McClure gives it away to Green. Carolina again.
They love to run, baby. I think about a timeout. I think about a TO, Coach K. They're terrific in transition. This North Carolina team is going to be such a tough outcome tournament time. Played at the Naval Academy, who's now the chairman of the board at 24 Hours Fitness. And Jason works for them. By the way, Carl Lieber gave me great news. Bought 2 tables for our big event for the V Foundation.
Hansbrough. Zubek goes down. Hansbrough lays it in. They are flying all over the place right now. Hansbrough's up to 8 points. Great action around college basketball all day. And now into the evening. Carolina up 9 after 2 free throw misses by Deon Thompson.
Tell you what's big, DeMarcus Nelson has not scored. He's their leading scorer.
Shire has it rejected, Dick, by Graves.
You can't emphasize how important that is when your leading scorer, your senior, who's got to give you leadership, has not scored here in the first half.
Ellington caught in the corner, finds a wide open Lawson.
He's so strong with the basketball. People don't realize sometimes the unbelievable emotional burden players, referees. I told you earlier, Ted Valentine's brother battling cancer. He said, please say hello to him. We say hello, Henry.
Singler. And the first half comes to a close. The lowest scoring first half for Duke this season. Carolina hits its last 6 shots. They lead by 11, the biggest halftime deficit the Blue Devils have faced this year.
I tell you, they can talk all the strategy they want. Any way you cut it, when your 1-2 scorers don't score, how are you going to win? They're 2 guys they have to have on the board.
How about Quentin Thomas with a beautiful feed to Deon Thompson? Krzyzewski with 3 national championships. Roy Williams won with Carolina, of course, 3 years ago.
Both mentored by 2 superstars, Dean Smith and certainly Robert Montgomery Knight.
Lawson to Hansbrough. 12-footer, yes.
7 feet, takes a lot of space inside.
What a different story on the glass here in the second half for Duke.
How could you not love college basketball watching this emotion and intensity?
Hansbrough's prayer is answered.
That's a prayer for most guys, but that's a normal shot for him. I love this. Are you kidding? You're like a little kid sitting here.
3 at the other end for Ellington. Carolina by 7. Carolina 13-5 in the second half. Nelson again has it taken away by Lawson.
Here's where Lawson excels. Look at that pass, right on the money.
Danny Green.
Terrific pass.
Lawson got it.
He is such a talented player. He's had such a solid senior campaign. An all-ACC performer.
Carolina by 5 off the screen. Here comes Ellington. Soft touch. And Hansbrough looks for help. Duke playing much better here in the second half than they did in the first. They have cut into the lead. Lawson got it.
That's Duke's offense. What you saw right there. Drive, draw, kick the ball out.
And Quentin Thomas with the answer for the Shire three. Carolina back on top. Will Graves back in. Played briefly in the first half. Hansbrough forces it up and in.
You know, we could call that a force, but again, that's not a force.
You're right.
That is
That's his
unique
game.
ability. You know, that's what he did in game one. He gave him 5 big baskets on the interior and really was a difference maker.
Mike Krzyzewski said it was the best game he had played. It'll drop. I think it was Stepheson who will get credit for it.
Have a tough time getting the ball in any kind of one-on-one situation. They double him up so quickly. Singler doing a great job denying him the ball.
Ellington penetrates, banks it in, and ties the game.
Great move by Ellington. You know, Tyler Hansbrough has not lost on this floor as a player. They do such a great job, though, with that dribble and drive.
Well, Lawson didn't start. He's a finisher for the Tar Heels. Shire didn't start. He's a finisher for Duke.
Come down the wire, you certainly want Lawson on the floor. Both clubs really doing a good job in their 5-on-5 defense.
Hansbrough down into the post with 10 on the shot clock. Can they get him a touch? Ginyard. Green keeps it alive. Hansbrough's got it.
That's why he's an All-American. Make big plays. Great offensive rebound by Tyler Hansbrough.
As he becomes the 6th Tar Heel ever to reach the 2,000-point plateau.
And only the 3rd junior ever to hit 2,000. Jason Williams and Dennis Scott. Hansbrough really working on the glass.
In typical Hansbrough fashion, it wasn't pretty or easy, but he worked as hard as anybody else.
Oh, he's so tenacious. He plays harder than almost anybody I've ever witnessed in my years on television. This is the biggest possession of the night so far for Duke. This is their biggest possession of the night.
Under a minute to go. Henderson lost it to Lawson.
Look at that speed.
Wow.
Look at that speed from end to end.
And the follow is there for Danny Green. Shire blocked from behind by Green. What a night he has had.
Maybe have a rematch of this in the ACC Championship next week. There's Lawson right now. Defense tries to cut him off. There's the tip in.
After Duke took that 2-point lead. And how about this? Carolina's got 12 blocked shots tonight. Shire, no foul call.
Mike Krzyzewski can't believe it. Right in front of him. He cannot believe it. They're going to spread the court. Just take time away. Spread the court. Why not take the jam? They're going to be celebrating on Franklin. They got this W. It looks like it's in the book.
Number one's on a 10-0 run right now. Nelson misses the 3, and it looks like, again, a senior night for a significant Blue Devil is going to be spoiled by the Tar Heels.
Not a silly thought. Joe Holliday right behind Roy Williams. Fine assistant. Steve Robinson on his staff as well.
Another block, the 13th by Carolina, off Paulus, out of bounds.
Great defensive effort today by North Carolina, and that's why they're going to celebrate as the regular season champs. You know, I really believe it does. I think that they're going to be a lock for a number 1 seed unless something dramatic happened and they lost in the first round. I think there's no way they can lose that number 1 seed.
And what about Duke? Where do you see them? As a 2?
I see them at 2. I see UCLA as a 1. I see Memphis as a 1. Kansas, Tennessee battling for the other 1 slot.
Number 1, North Carolina withstands a furious rally by Duke in the second half, closes the game on a 10-0 run, and number 1 will stay there. A 76-68 win. The North Carolina Tar Heels win the ACC regular season championship, finishing a game ahead of Duke. Despondent Duke fans, and a tough night for DeMarcus Nelson. His senior night ends in a loss. Meanwhile, Tyler Hansbrough wins in this building for the 3rd year in a row. He finishes with 16 points, 15 rebounds. Danny Green, a sensational night, 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 blocks. Number 1 Carolina over Duke, 76-68. Danny Green, the 6th man for the Tar Heels. just might have been the best performer in this game tonight at both ends of the floor. What a night for Carolina here at Durham as they silence the Cameron Crazies. You'll hear from Roy Williams.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bobcats Arena for the championship of the 55th Annual Atlantic Coast Conference Men's Basketball Tournament. Today's championship game features the Tar Heels of North Carolina versus the Tigers of Clemson. For today's starting lineups, first for the Clemson Tigers. At forward, a 6'5" senior from Greenville, South Carolina, number 32, Sam Perry. At forward, a 6'7" sophomore from Whitmire, South Carolina, number 35, Trevor Booker. At forward, a 6'9" senior from Garner, North Carolina, number 40, James Mays. At guard, a 6'5" junior from right here in Charlotte, number 1, K.C. Rivers. At guard, a 6'3" senior from Cairo, Georgia, number 25, Cliff Hammond. The head coach of the Tigers is Oliver Purnell in his 5th season with Clemson. And now for the Tar Heels. At forward, a 6'5" junior from Alexandria, Virginia, number 1, Marcus Ginyard. Forward, a 6'8" sophomore from Torrance, California, number 21, Deon Thompson. At forward, a 6'9" junior from Poplar Bluff, Missouri, number 50, Tyler Hansbrough. At guard, a 6'4" sophomore from Wynwood, Pennsylvania, number 22, Wayne Ellington. Guard, a 5'11" sophomore from Clinton, Maryland, number 5, Ty Lawson. The head coach for North Carolina in his 5th season with the Tar Heels is Roy Williams.
Just think what their record would be if they hit free throws. Long court pass, Ginyard inside with a dunk. Great Heels tie it up.
Great strategy against the press to throw over the top. Nobody behind the press that time. Good look.
Rivers, Mays, Booker, Perry, and Hammond. Clad in purple. They're 2-0 in purple. They wore them yesterday against Duke.
You're just digging deep with the facts.
I am. All over the place. Here's Rivers baseline. Ginyard with the rebound. Marcus Ginyard has had himself a good ACC tournament. Hansbrough, foul line jumper.
Really improved that part of his game as this season has gone along. Showed a willingness to step out. I think his range is probably at about 15 feet, right at the free throw line, Steve.
There's Perry. Stolen by Hansbrough. It's a track meet with Hansbrough and Booker. Hansbrough drives in and scores.
Just the ability, and he's not a shot blocker, but he's very good at working around post players and getting the steal. Really did everything on that play. He can change ends as quickly as any big with the basketball.
And Rivers has all 4 of Clemson's points.
8 of 22 in the tournament coming in.
Ellington, and it's on. Get your running shoes out.
Boy, no jitters about an ACC tournament final for either team, Steve. Combined 7 of 11 field goals.
8 all. And a great start. Here's Ellington. Ellington up and under. He scores. Also from the Charlotte area, Matthews, North Carolina, where he went to Butler High School. In the corner, Ellington for 3.
That can't ever happen. He's a guy that you can't help off of, and they could have done it early on, but he laid the foundation out, did it brick by brick, and they find themselves in the title game here and in the NCAA tournament.
Here's Green for three. Struggles against the press here, near backcourt violation, and then Thomas races in. Here's Green for three. Stepheson off the glass. Clemson goes back into his zone. Ginyard. Ellington. Lawson, Stepheson, and Thompson. There's a nice shot by Ellington in the corner. He's got 10.
Very good rebounder at his position, over 6 a game.
On the cut, Booker pass deflected and stolen by Ellington. It's 4-on-1. Ginyard to finish. 4 for Marcus Ginyard. 2-point Clemson lead.
In that game.
Ellington, baseline jump is good. Ellington with 12. Tar Heels trail by 2.
Looking like the Wayne Ellington who had a huge night down in Littlejohn.
Graves is into the ball game now for his first appearance for the Tar Heels. Played a key role this tournament so far, albeit a very small part, but it's an important. Here's Thomas. Gets around Oglesby and hits. Tar Heel fans shouting Q. 5 to play in what has been a breathless first half. Hansbrough inside. Oh, blocked from behind. It was made. Again, look at 3 jerseys around it. Doesn't matter that time. Hansbrough with his 6th point. Ginyard taps the rebound to Lawson, who finds Green. Oh, nice play, but he can't convert, but does on the other side. Here's the steal by Green. Finds Ellington ahead of the pack, who scores. Wayne Ellington with 14, and the Tar Heels have a 3-point lead. David Potter replaces Casey Rivers in the lineup. Booker gets a rest. Ivan Sykes is back in. Here's Ellington at work. Lawson. Lawson lost the handle inside. Comes up and goes up and scores.
North Carolina is going to have to clean that up and get somebody in his shirt.
15 points for Casey Rivers, playing in his hometown. Nice shot on the baseline by Thompson. Saw that graphic, 4-2, and they trail at the half. They trailed twice against Thompson and came back and won. In fact, got their first lead in the first half on Clemson this season. Ginyard to Ellington. Ellington stops, uses the glass nicely.
This is the 3rd game in 3 days. Does this style take a toll on the Tigers?
Here's steal by Hammonds up in the front court. Ginyard. Ginyard scores. Marcus Ginyard has been the elixir for the Tar Heels, who lead here 42-40.
Wayne Ellington is special, and he makes special plays, but Marcus Ginyard does everything solid. He's just a real rock for this team in the backcourt.
Booker backing into the post. Hammonds wants to give it another look. This time he got behind Hansbrough, missed. Had everything he wanted on the play. Here comes Lawson. Lawson scores at the other end.
And then he compounded it. He tried to steal the ball from Lawson at half court instead of getting back, and that allowed Lawson to get right to the front of the rim.
I don't know what you had planned this afternoon, but you might cancel it.
It might involve 5 or 10 extra minutes of action.
Hansbrough inside. Oh boy, he gathers a crowd. Goes up again. Scores this time and gets the foul. A magnificent play by Tyler Hansbrough.
The play doesn't end against Tyler Hansbrough until you get the basketball, because he will keep going after it. He doesn't care if he gets his shot blocked. He is relentless in his pursuit of getting the ball in the rim. And this is where, Steve, you have to be in better condition than Tyler Hansbrough, and that is not an easy thing.
No. Rivers with his 4th 3-pointer of the day has 20.
Actually, it was a missed catch that allowed him to get it.
Ellington drives, gets the bucket and the foul. Don't take that victory lap, because North Carolina is looking to take it out of the net and run.
As soon as the ball goes through the rim, you have to convert to defense against this team. Good call by the referee. Sykes sliding over, never really establishing possession.
Ellington. Ginyard. Back to Green. They'll go to Ellington. One Hansbrough in the post. There's the double. He'll score anyway. Misses on the foul line. May come back to haunt Carolina. They've had several of them recently.
But Clemson not getting the rebound, giving him second life.
Danny Green tries to finish and does. Biggest lead of the game for the Tar Heels, causing Oliver Purnell to call for a timeout.
Perfect outcome when you come out of a huddle to execute and get a layup. Oliver Purnell, I like the timeout. He didn't want any more separation between North Carolina and his ball club.
That's it to 4. Rivers with 22. Thomas. Nice pass underneath and a block by Mays, but Hansbrough to finish. Green into front court. Green to the basket. He had eyes on that ever since he left backcourt. Tigers now 6 down. Ellington beats the break. Ginyard.
That has been the recipe for North Carolina for beating Clemson pressure. The throw over the top, and how about the lob from Ellington?
Headed to the baseline. He's got 6. Back comes Carolina again. Ginyard one more time. Ellington to finish.
It's been violated far too many times.
Oh, with 2 children in college, I certainly understand that. Here's Lawson down the lane, puts it up and in. High Lawson. And he leaves the floor with 3. Over to Stepheson. Stepheson over Potter and scores.
Second time they've gotten that lob.
And headed to the NCAA for the first time since 1998. Potter on the drive. Tried to leave it off for Booker, intercepted by Ginyard.
Could have thrown a bounce pass, too many hands in the area.
Lawson again.
Suffering looks no worse for the wear. He has been very quick to the basket in the second half.
Hammonds commits an offensive foul, trying to rub off Ginyard, who's not only good at the offensive end, but one of the best defensive players in this league.
There's actually been a little bit of a groundswell, Steve, of asking the coaches, I think in the ACC, they would like to see it go back to a Saturday final to get that extra day of rest going into the tournament.
Let's see what television says. No. Clemson in that 1-3-1 zone. Here's Green shooting over it. Danny Green, second triple of the day. Here's Lawson into front court.
Note to rest of team, give it to Rivers to shoot 3.
Ellington on the other end answers with 2. 5.5 to play in this championship game. It's a 2-possession lead for North Carolina. Ellington inside Hansbrough, got it to go. 16 points for Tyler Hansbrough.
In North Carolina, you're defending the 3-point arc. Any 2-point shot doesn't really hurt you.
Oglesby guarded by Ginyard. Oglesby looks for separation. No. The rebound taken by Lawson and a big board. And a foul coming up in backcourt against Clemson. 25.5 seconds left to go. It's a 6-point edge. And now it's a 7-point edge.
Same strategy for North Carolina. Defend the arc, defend the 3-point line, switch every interchange outside. You can give up a 2.
Everybody on their feet. Final chapter of this drama to play itself out. Hammonds has it stolen by Ginyard. And that'll make Clemson chase. And they get the foul just before North Carolina turned it over with 9.1 seconds left.
Fortunately, what was down in Atlanta came up here.
Ginyard, 1 out of 2. Good effort. Can't miss for trying. Graves on the inbounds. And he will dribble away to a 17th ACC championship for the North Carolina Tar Heels, despite a game effort by Oliver Purnell and the Clemson Tigers. North Carolina wins back-to-back ACC Tournament championships 2007 and 2008. Tyler Hansbrough, Wayne Ellington and company in victory.
Well, there's Roy Williams, Quentin Thomas, Commissioner John Swafford, and
Jason Capel, that's what you play for a lot of times, didn't you? You want a championship trophy.
That's what you play for. At the beginning of the season, as I said all weekend, you play for the regular season championship, ACC Tournament championship. Now the Hills have one more they would like to have in their grasp in a couple weeks.
You see the guys waving and thanking the crowd here. I thought the crowd, which was predominantly North Carolina, was really energetic and into it here today.
Absolutely. Charlotte, Carolina faithful came out in numbers, really cheered their Heels on all weekend to the championship game.
All right, the players at center court, the all-tournament teams being named right now. We'll be back in a moment, but first this word from your local stations.
Joined here by winning head coach Roy Williams. And Roy, talk a little bit, your 17th title at North Carolina, your second consecutive with this group against a very game Clemson team that gave you all you want this year.
All we wanted every game. You know, we have a 12, 13-point lead. We miss a dunk, they make a three. We turn it over, they make a three. We miss a layup, they make another basket, and all of a sudden it's a big-time game again. I can't congratulate Oliver and his team anymore. Can't feel that they're any more special than I feel right now. He's a great person. They're a great team, and I hope they have a great run these next 4 weeks.
Your team has had some adversity at point guard position this year. Bobby Frasor going down, Ty Lawson going down, although back now. Talk about how your team has played through all that and where they are right now.
Well, it's been a tough bunch of kids. Quentin Thomas really rose to the occasion. Ty Lawson's still not as healthy as we need him to be, and Quentin has the confidence now. We make that substitution, our play doesn't go down, and Ty made a couple of baskets going to the basket for us today that were big during that run.
One of the most impressive things about your year to me, you're undefeated on the road and in a neutral. How has your team played so well away from the Smith Center?
I don't. If I knew, I'd tell you I'd sure like to do it these next 6 games because we're not going to play in the Smith Center the next 6. So just kids that believe they can win anywhere.
Final thought. I know you said a building has never won or beat you, but staying close to home and more than likely in the state of North Carolina.
Well, you know, that'd be nice for our fans. It's tougher on me for tickets, I can tell you that, but we've still got to play, and if we play well, we have a chance. It is good for the families more than anybody to be able to be close to home.
Roy, congratulations very much. Thank you.